Nationwide keyword on our website, cash. That's cash. Enter it now.
Log on now to espnavl.com.
The pounding begins. The wagons are circled. Every wind is raidered. It's football time in America, and this republic has never been stronger. The Sportsocracy, Beer City's best sports talk, live from the Ingalls studio.
It is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. The Sportsocracy is heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app, seen everywhere on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel, join us in the chat. I'm Tank Spencer, live in the Ingalls studio. Low prices. Love the savings from Mullet Manor. Jeremy Greene joining us. We've got all of the technical issues fixed there, right, Flostradamus?
Oh, we do. At this point, if my internet goes out, the apocalypse has happened, and we should all be running for our lives.
Okay, good to know. We are set and ready and raring to go for a big week here in the Sportsocracy because, well, it's a big week in the football world. We're going to find out this week when all of your teams are playing. The NFL schedule release coming on Wednesday. We got a big business meeting tomorrow, so no show tomorrow afternoon. But we will have little nuggets for the rest of the week leading up to our schedule release on Friday of the places we're going to be during the football season.
We're announcing the first 4 stops on our Living the Dream tour. I've been waiting to say that for so long. I can finally tell you what this thing is called, and it's going to be plastered all over a big old truck that we'll tell you about real soon.
Yes, and the Living the Dream tour, of course, is always brought to you by Ingalls Supermarkets. Low prices. Love the savings. We'll be dropping those little tidbits throughout the program today and Wednesday, Thursday, and, of course, the full release on Friday.
Friday, we're going to talk a lot about the upcoming season. We need basically a full night to digest the NFL schedule, figure out where we can physically get to based on where we are going to be at other times, and maybe project a little bit. But we are going. Our plan is to bring you unfettered access to all of the greatest sporting events in a way that nobody has ever done it before.
Indeed. So
because we have no one to tell us no.
The Living the Dream tour, it's going to include you right here in the Sportsocracy. Follow it all season long. And we've got leaks coming out in the NFL. We know what the first game of the season is now going to be. The first leak of the week, Kansas City Chiefs, Baltimore Ravens, kicking off the season in the September the 5th kickoff game. A rematch of the AFC Championship.
And I know, I get it. I understand why you had to do that. I don't have to love it, though.
Why don't you love it? What should they have done? Should this have been the Super Bowl rematch?
I wouldn't have hated the Super Bowl rematch. The only problem is that's in San Francisco. So that was never happening.
Okay.
Here's my question. Why is it not Houston? Houston's the best young team in the NFL. It's the team we're all losing our minds about. But instead you go old hat with John Harbaugh and the Ravens?
Mm-hmm.
I knew it was coming. And I still looked at it and went, really? That's the one?
Did you... that's the question of, do you put the rivalry game on? Because this is second best rivalry in the AFC now? I would say Chiefs, Bills is one.
Well, Chiefs-Bills was one. Not so
and
sure you want to see that
Ravens
game now.
Well, no, but I'm saying right now, if you're going over the past, 5-6 seasons, that would be one in the AFC to me, outside of the NFC, or the AFC North rivalry games within that division. this is probably the closest one.
But you're missing the other layup
game. Right, but do you use that kickoff game to unveil your contender? Right, last year it was the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, and it was awesome.
It was?
It was an awesome game that worked famously well. And it was an introduction to the national landscape of the Detroit Lions. Here's the other part of this that I don't think anybody's thinking about. You do realize that Jim and John Harbaugh's teams play each other in L.A. this year, and you could have put that on, I don't know, that Monday Night Football kickoff.
First game of the season.
Would that not have made more sense? I mean, when I say it that way, tell me that that wasn't the layup, and the NFL just went, no, we're not going to do that.
Yeah. But I don't know. It depends on what the other matchups are going to be. Do you want to hammer those matchups right away, or do we want to sprinkle those across the rest of the season?
Well, I mean, on Monday nights, we tend to get a slew of gross fests in the middle of the year.
What I'm saying is, would you not rather hold on to that when it can be, I don't know, week 3's premier game?
Well, here's my problem.
What happens? The second big game of opening week.
Here's my problem. What happens if the Chargers start out really poorly, like I think they will? Does that game not lose some luster if you do it in week 7 and the Chargers come in 2-4? Because to me, it does.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it does. Absolutely.
And so you could have completely taken all of that away by playing it on Monday night of week 1. You get Chiefs-Texans that Thursday night. You got the Eagles on Friday night. You basically could have just taken over the entire weekend, of which, by the way, that's a really good college football weekend, too.
I was going to say they're going to anyway. So it
no doubt. They sacrificed Saturday because, well, college, you do what you do. Mm-hmm. We will be announcing our date for that weekend later on in this here program. I don't know. I just saw it. I knew it was coming when I looked at I think there were 6 teams that the Chiefs could potentially have played because there were scheduling issues with 2 others of their home dates. And as soon as I saw Baltimore, I went, that's who it's going to be. There's no doubt in my mind that's who it's going to be. I think you missed an opportunity there.
Would you rather have that, be the early bookend to the season, and then the NFC or the AFC championship game could possibly be the rematch of that later on? Or would you rather see it 12 weeks in, 13 weeks in? Would you rather wait until both of these teams are truly in contention to see that game? I think that's where my mind would
I don't
be.
think there's a path that game loses its luster. And that's what I always kind of look at in the early scheduling. And that's something we're going to talk about today is teams that I'm really locked into who they play and when those games happen. Mm-hmm. Because there's one that we've talked about a lot, the Green Bay Packers. Your schedule could be the difference in 11-6, maybe even 12-5, and 9-8.
Depending on where their road trips lie.
There are just things you don't want to see. Especially with teams that have a lot of moving parts or a lot of young guys. The Chargers, that's another team that's really interesting to me. If this starts ugly, like let's say it had gone the way that I thought it should, which is they start with Baltimore, you get Kansas City sprinkled in there in the first 4 weeks. I can't remember who their biggest non-divisional matchups are. But, I mean, if the Chargers start 1-3, you want to talk about taking the wind out of those sails? You could take the wind out of those sails in a month.
Mm-hmm. Regardless, it's going to lose some luster. But the brother storyline will push it. I get what
I don't know that I agree with you on that.
Would you rather have it in the first 3 weeks? Sure. But it's still going to be must-watch TV.
Oh, I mean, it'll be fine. But if you play this in week 12 and the Chargers are 4-8, I don't care. You said that's must-watch. No, it's not. Not in this league because you got too many teams that are good. Oh, cute. They're brothers. Awesome. We watched them do this in the Super Bowl. So it's not like we've never done this before. And Look, I'm not telling the NFL how to market its product because they do it exponentially better than anybody else does.
I mean, that's kind of what it sounds like.
Let me put it this way. The lowest level temp in the NFL offices could take over the NBA, and they'd be in better shape. The NBA just had a draft lottery that no one cared about.
No.
This is the only thing I'm going to say about that. I would give a half of one of my fingers for the way the draft lottery yesterday went to have happened a year ago. If the team that was picking at 11 had somehow won the lottery and got Victor Wembanyama, I don't care who that team was. We would have never heard the end of how the NBA's rigged. Ever.
Right. Shocker how you don't have that much outcry when there's nothing exciting about this draft.
No, this is the most nondescript draft in the history of time.
Right, there's no player at the top of the the Charlotte Hornets ended up with the 6th pick, despite the fact that they had the 3rd worst record in the NBA, and it's fine. I'm okay with that.
We all realize how stupid that lottery is, right?
What's that going to end up landing you? Dalton Connect? Awesome.
We all realize how stupid that lottery is, right? I've heard a bunch of national people say, this is why the NBA is so great. You should tell your TV ratings that. You should probably broadcast that to the masses because they don't seem to give a furry rat's keister about your draft lottery, which you had at 3 o'clock on Mother's Day. Uh-huh. That's just crushing it with pickles.
I thought I was getting some kind of leaked information when I got the breaking news on my phone because I was like, there's no way we're doing that right now. Didn't this used to be a primetime event?
It's been a primetime event every single year except this one.
Right, didn't we like 7, 8 o'clock do a big TV special with this thing? And here it is Sunday afternoon. I'm getting the breaking news that the Hornets are picking 6th. And I went, well, that tracks. Okay, move on to the next.
Well, anybody that's going to defend this to me, just think about if we did that in the NFL. If the NFL had a draft lottery where every team that didn't make the playoffs had a fractional % chance to get that franchise quarterback, you would lose your mind every year when that happened.
Yes.
Because it's so unbelievably stupid. And we do it in hockey. We do it in the NBA. Well, we don't want teams to tank. Are you sure we don't want teams to tank? Because I kind of think we do.
Well, it doesn't help if they do. The Detroit Pistons have been screwed 2 years in a row. They've been terrible, dog water, for 2 years, and they ended up with the 5th pick both times.
That's the dumbest thing of it. When you say it that way, how is that team supposed to be? How are you supposed to get any better? You housed him out of Victor Wembanyama because you had to have a stupid draft lottery. Now you housed him out of whatever one of the French kids goes one. I can't pronounce one of their names, so I'm not going to try. Olivier I used Vernon, to cover the NBA draft. We got, 1 year into this, and I went, I think I can call that good, right? I don't have to keep working in June for the NBA draft, right?
Yeah. It's ridiculous. But, yeah, hey, Hornets fans, we wound up with the 6th pick. Ain't that great for us?
Enjoy Rob Dillingham.
To go with our other point guard who can't stay healthy.
Yeah, he can fill in for the 60 games a year that LaMelo misses. NBA action coming at you.
Charles Lee, he's gonna lead us to the promised land.
How many teams are in the WNBA?
12.
Is it 12? I thought it was 12.
I have no idea. I saw they're getting one in Toronto.
Here's my idea. We push the WNBA up to 16 because their rosters are ridiculous. And like first-round picks are getting cut a year after they're made. Let's take some of the NBA teams and make them play in the WNBA.
The G League teams?
No, let's cut some of the NBA teams and make them play in the WNBA. Honestly, we can give you the Detroit Pistons. Nobody's going to care. Just you keep the imaging. It's fine. You now have a Detroit team, and we will reallocate those players in the NBA so that the bottom of your roster is not so irrelevant that we're talking about taking Bronny James in the hopes that maybe it gets his dad to show up. Tell me your sport is irrelevant without telling me that.
Yeah, it's a 12-team league right now, and they will be expanding 2025, 2026-ish to 2 more teams. So they'll have 14 coming up soon.
I'll give you basically every team in the Eastern Conference Southeast. So Hornets, Hawks, you can have them all. Just we'll take the players. We'll put them in a draft. We won't have a stupid lottery, and we'll all be fine. You get more teams, we get less. Everybody wins. Jeremy, commissioner of the sports world.
He's definitely on to something. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from
Clear.
regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis Pixaban tablets reduce stroke risk better than warfarin. And over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Live Nation presents Concert Week. Now through May 14th, get $25 tickets to over 5,000 shows. That's up to 75% off a summer full of your favorite artists like 21 Savage, Alanis Morissette, Cage the Elephant, Celeste Barber, Dierks Bentley, Fade, Hootie and the Blowfish, Janet Jackson, Kids Bop Kids, Meghan Trainor, Bissell Pluma, Sarah McLachlan. Get tickets to more than 5,000 summer shows for just $25. On sale now through May 14th. Visit livenation.com/Concert Week to learn more and plan your summer with Sean Paul, Sum 41, 30 Seconds to Mars, and Two Door Cinema Club.
Hey, have you ever used Cheapo Air?
For years, and I really like it. With Cheapo Air, you can book online, use their app, or even over the phone. They've got great prices on over 500 airlines and millions of accommodations. They're my go-to for travel planning. And if you join their Club Miles program, you can earn points to save on the cost of your travel. Book on the app, and you get double points.
Sounds like it's time I tried Cheapo Air.
Call Cheapo Air at 855-292-7492 or visit cheapoair.com.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in Western North Carolina. Visit
Yes, sir.
So that thing we talked about individual games.
Your one.
Yep. We're confirmed. We're good.
If
So
cleanliness
it's
is
all
next to
good.
godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very
Which
godly?
means I may not
Look,
be
life
around
comes
for
at you
a couple
fast, but
weeks.
So does WBNC Auto Detailing.
They're going to get all those
They have
filled.
the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the show.
May not take that long.
Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear.
I had
WNC
4
Auto
requests
Detailing
without
does
even
full
saying what the
interior
games
and
were.
exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing. Nice. 3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
When the flowers come into bloom, it is like a field of dreams. Hi, I'm Belinda Smith. My husband Russ and I own Briar Hill Farm in Pickens, South Carolina. Ingles has really brought awareness to locally grown flowers. And they made it convenient for customers to be able to purchase local flowers, and customers realize the advantage of local flowers being fresher and lasting longer.
The Sportsocracy.
You were just dumping a bag of hammers.
It is ESPN Asheville. This is the Sportsocracy. And Mullet, we're taking a look at all of the run-up here to the NFL schedule release coming up on Wednesday. And how the league puts the schedule together is always one of those things that I want more information out there about how this is done. I want to know how this all gets decided, what the process is.
What are you talking about, the Rubik's Cube of just putting all the games together?
Yeah, and like what the discussion is like behind the scenes from the decision makers.
So,
I would love to know some of the arguments that they get into in the rooms about, like you were saying, whether or not we should have Kansas City open up at home against Houston or Baltimore.
Well, I can tell you what, in our travels, there are a handful of questions. People have to remember that, yes, we do this professionally, and I'm using that term very liberally, but we do this for a living, and we get in some of these rooms, we get to talk to some of the decision makers in the NFL, and I've had a handful of questions over the years that I always wanted the answer to. So the schedule was one of those. And I wanted to know, how exactly do you put this together? So when we were at the Combine, I asked one of the communications guys that's pretty high up in the league, and I would tell you his name, but I don't remember it. He walked me through the path of basically every team has some no-fly dates. So Atlanta is the one that specifically we were talking about, because the Mercedes-Benz Dome has a lot of events this year. So they will block off anytime that there's a big college football game, anytime there's a big event happening in the city, because you're trying to keep the traffic from being an absolute nightmare. They will work around those things the best that they can. Sometimes it doesn't work out that way. Sometimes you do have an NFL game the same weekend. Now, do I think that's going to happen for the Clemson-Georgia kickoff at the Benz Dome? No, I don't. That's actually the week before the season starts. But even there are a couple other games down there. I don't think you'll have an overlap there. But then they start working out that way, and they start looking at matchups that they want to profile. They want to have 2 really big matchups every single week of legit Super Bowl contenders. And they build the schedule out that way. They also try to keep teams away from each other. They don't put as much stock into as many things as I thought they did. Like not having the Jets and the Dolphins play each other twice in 3 weeks. They genuinely don't care. I think that was the thing that caught me the most off guard, is if we get to a point where the entire Rubik's Cube has figured itself out and we got 2 teams playing each other in the same month, oh well. Last year they had it with the Packers and the Bears. Mm-hmm. They played week 1. They played the last week of the season.
Yeah, it happens all the time in the I don't know if it happens for every team's schedule, but it seems like it happens almost every year for the Bucs. At some point, we're going to end up with one of those teams in the division that we play late in the season, and we'll end up playing them 2 out of 3 weeks.
So the reason that happens to you so often is because you have you got 4 teams in that division that don't necessarily end up really high on the primetime schedule. Mm-hmm. Because that is another thing they start off with. How many games do we get in primetime? I'll go ahead and tell you, Kansas City has 5.
Okay.
I know that definitively. There are a couple other teams that I know have at least 4. The Jets have at least 4. Houston has at least 4. San Francisco has at least 4. And then I think they from the best I could tell, that was how they worked it out. Was we start with primetime, and then we kind of form fill with all of the CBS Fox games.
Well, let's hope we don't get saddled with 4 Broncos games again this year.
I don't like the chances. If the Broncos get a primetime game, I will be surprised. After the broccoli you gave us 4 times last year, I would not hold my breath.
Well, we probably will have a record set for the team to have a team that had 0 primetime games last year going to one of the teams with the most primetime games this year, which is the Houston Texans. They didn't have a single primetime game last year. And this year, if they're not one of the top teams, like last year we had 4 teams that had 6 primetime games. If they're not one of those teams, the league did it wrong.
Well, and you got to remember the 6th game is a flex. Because remember they did the primetime flex thing? You can only get 5 when the schedule comes out. They can move you around in, weeks 14 through 16? Or something 13 through 16, something like that? So you won't see a team with more than 5 when the schedule comes out.
Okay. Because last year we ended up with the Bills, Chargers, Chiefs, and the Cowboys having 6 apiece. Somehow we ended up with the Jets at 5.
Well, I mean, because the schedule was made and you expected it to be Aaron Rodgers. We didn't think we were going to get the legend of Tim Boyle.
The Giants had 5 as well. Obviously, big New York market. We get why we get why they get games, but like we said, the Broncos had 4. The Patriots had 4. And this year you've got the Cardinals, the Colts, the Falcons, and the Texans. 4 teams that had 0 primetime games last year. And all of those teams have way more interest in them this year than they did last year.
Well, and the thing you have to remember is with primetime games, it's not just how good are you. There has to be an assumption that you're going to be at least relevant. There's also a big play into the media market. I mean, if the Jets were terrible last year, I'll promise you they have 4 primetime games. They may have 5.
Yes.
If I was betting on a team to get 5, it would be Houston. I know Kansas City will. They have 3 or 4 years in a row.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the way it's going to be. You keep winning Super Bowls, that's where you end up.
Yeah. You know the Cowboys will. You put Dallas's name on anything, and it will be watched.
They'll be interesting to me. I don't necessarily know that they're going to be as – how do I say this? I don't know that they're going to get the primetime slot, if that make any sense. Okay. I think you're going to see way more of them at 4:25 on Fox than you believe as the featured game of the week. I don't know how much intrigue. I mean, look, I agree with what you said, that you put Cowboys on anything, it's going to sell to a certain point.
Yes.
I don't know how much intrigue that team actually has, and you could see that go super sideways. I mean, they're going to get 3 because they put a star on their helmet.
Yes. And they'll get the extra because of, well, the Cowboys. Because they're Dallas. They'll get the eyeballs, and if anything, they'll put the, as they say, the revolution will be broadcast. No, the de-evolution of the Dallas Cowboys will be broadcast this year. I'm continuing to sour by the second on the Dallas Cowboys.
As well you should. There's not a lot there to like.
I don't see how. I just don't see how you're gonna come out of this without just tearing it down, just blowing it up. This could be the blow up year that we've been looking for. No more McCarthy, no more Dak. Jerry Jones just throws his hands up and walks away. No, that's never going to happen.
No.
We know that's not going to happen. But it's still good. It's still going to be fun to watch. We're going to take another break here in the Sportsocracy and ESPN Asheville. When we come back from the break, it will be time for us to get just a bit outside, and we'll continue to talk about the teams in the league that, well, they need some breaks to go their way. The schedules are real tough, especially in the toughest divisions. I think of all of the toughest schedules next year, every AFC North team, I think they're all in the top 4 of the hardest schedules. Just about. Somehow Cincinnati wound up with an easier schedule than that. We'll look at that and who really needs a break when it comes to scheduling. Coming up next here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400.
This is your Exergen Temple.
You're clear.
Thank you.
On ESPN Asheville.
All right, we'll talk about
this afternoon with a few showers possible, low 70s. Better rain chances tonight.
Let's talk about teams that need breaks, all that, and then we'll announce the first game at the end of this segment.
To near 70. Showers, even storms.
And we'll
for
just
Wednesday,
combine this into a big
70s.
one, so we'll roll to 50.
Skies for Thursday, upper 70s to near
50
80.
or whatever it is we roll to there.
Yep.
Meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by ExpressPros.com. Use the experts on hiring for professional roles. Visit SRGExpress.com to connect with professionals in accounting, IT, and engineering. The specialized recruiting group takes an individual approach, placing people in contract and full-time roles. SRGExpress.com.
With more and more people prioritizing their mental health, finding a therapist can often feel difficult and sometimes overwhelming. If you or someone you know is seeking help but facing challenges, NAMI, the nation's largest grassroots mental health organization, can help. NAMI offers free peer support groups, education programs, and a helpline to support you when the wait seems too long.
Do we want to announce the evolution of the
difficult to
House of Reprehensibles on Friday?
alone. Visit NAMI.org for information.
Yeah, we can do that.
I think we just do it all, and basically that'll be Friday's show.
Xfinity has
talking
free
about
premium
games that
networks
we're going
for
to,
everyone
why we
this month,
chose them.
no matter what kind of entertainment you love. Addicted to true
You
crime?
agree?
Catch killer cases and more spine.
That's all good with me.
10 for
Crime Central. Crave adventure?
I'll put the stream
Explore
up for
Asian
that
action movies on Hi-YAH.
this
Searching
evening.
for something extreme? Check out skating, snowboarding, and more on Fuel TV
Because I'll be coming
the
in
global
sideways
home
on
of action
Wednesday, too.
sports. And find crowd-pleasing bops on iHeartRadio's Hit Nation playlist. There's new free shows and movies to love every week. Say free this week in your Xfinity voice remote.
Summit Racing has the parts and accessories to keep your ride summer road trip ready. Choose from millions of parts in stock. Shop summitracing.com. Use promo code RADIO for $10 off an order of $100 or more. Exclusions apply. Offer ends June 2nd, 2024.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
We're back counting down to kickoff. Let's look at today's 3 keys to premium pre-gaming with Beast Unleashed, presented by Monster Brewing. Number 1, beat the heat.
Unleash the beast with bold, familiar flavors, 0 caffeine, and 0 sugar.
Number 2, running the option.
There's 4 to choose from: White Haze, Peach Perfect, Scary Berries, and my personal favorite, Mean Green.
And number 3, at 6% ABV, Max Protect.
Always drink responsibly, and you must be 21 or over.
Beast Unleashed, available at your local retailer.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
It is ESPN Asheville, and Jeremy, the name, image, and likeness market is just rampant. We all talk about or wonder, like, what the figures are these days, what, who's getting the most. In football, we know the numbers are huge. In basketball, however, college basketball, we now know the highest, or at least the highest reported number on an NIL deal is $2 million. Jeremy, have you seen this story? Do you know who I'm talking about, and would you like to take a guess at who it is if you don't know?
I don't know, but I'm going to guess. Let me ask you one question. Is it a transfer or is it a freshman? I don't think there's a freshman. I have to feel like it's a transfer.
It is a transfer.
Is it Great Osborne?
It is. It is. Good for you.
I had heard that there were I don't know where he signed, but I know there were a lot of teams that really wanted him.
He is going to Washington. He is now committed to the Huskies, playing for them this year, coming out of the Mountain West Conference. He was the Mountain West Conference Player of the Year at Utah State. Great Osborne. And he is getting an NIL package worth $2 million, according to a document reviewed by ESPN. That is now the highest known valuation for a college basketball player this upcoming season. Huh. I just thought that was quite interesting, that I would not have pegged a Utah State transfer as the highest NIL deal in college basketball.
Well, he's a very good player, first of all. Second of all, we're to that point in the basketball transfer schedule where it's 150. There's no more boozes being served by the bar. And so if there's a 7 hanging around that's still unaffiliated, she just became a 12. Yeah. So I had heard that was going to be one that blew my mind with how much money he got.
Mm-hmm. But good for him cashing in on the NIL deal, going to Washington. Hopefully he will, or he is hoping to lead Washington back to the NCAA tournament. So great. Osobor. Remember the name.
Well, let's just hope.
On paper, richest college basketball player.
Let's just hope that Washington got some more guarantees than Iowa got with Caden Proctor.
Oh.
My story's about the NBA. J.J. Redick is a candidate for several jobs around the NBA. He was a candidate for the Hornets until they hired Charles Lee at the end of last week. He's still being floated for the Lakers job, but there is another well-known entity that is angling for a coaching job in the NBA. It's not, I mean, and it is a former player, technically. Percy Miller, Master P. He is angling to be an assistant coach for the New Orleans Pelicans. He told TMZ Sports, I think our team is close, but I am the piece that can take us over the top. Okay. So Master P wants to be a coach in the NBA.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Really? Is that a thing you even consider? I mean, I can't. New Orleans has not in any way said that they're investigating this, interested in this, anything like that. I cannot imagine a time that you would hire a guy as an assistant coach that is infinitely more famous than your head coach. Can you name the head coach of the New Orleans Pelicans?
No.
Okay, I figured that was the way that was going to go. You do realize that we saw that team play in person, and you cannot name the name of their coach.
No. I know it's not Alvin Gentry anymore.
No, it's Willie Green.
Willie Green, indeed.
I don't necessarily think that's something, but Master P really wants it. Well, I wanted the Spice Girls to come to my birthday party, and you know what I got?
Is he even the thing anymore?
Oh,
like,
no.
On your basketball knowledge, I get that he's a fan of the game. He's a former player in the CBA, and I'm sure that he had a basketball card once. But I know because I had it. But there is nothing alluring to having Percy Miller be a part of your NBA franchise. That's not even going to get you likes on TikTok. I'm pretty sure TikTokers don't even know who the hell Master P is.
No, they would make punny jokes about his name and how if you change the P to another thing, it becomes a funny word. Master P is at that level of famous where you go on vacation and you're looking for things to do. Amy and I are going on vacation next week. And if Master P was playing in Savannah, I would look at her and go, hey, you want to get drunk and Uber to Savannah so we can heckle Master P? I'd just be 28 beers deep in the back going, make it say, na. That's not the song we're singing. I don't care. It's the only one I know, and I want you to do it right now.
Yes. Nobody knows any other song from that album.
That's actually probably not true of me. I can't think of one off the top of my head, but I probably do know another one.
I mean, look, I was a No Limit Soldier at one point too, but
those of you that like clipping things, that would be a good one.
It's definitely a move that every New Orleans Pelicans fans would go, ooh.
If you have a Sportsocracy bingo card and you had Tank uttering the phrase, I was a no-limit soldier at any point, I feel like that was a space you didn't think you were ever going to put the little dauber on.
I win. I win. All right, let's get back into the discussion here. As far as the NFL schedule release is coming up on Wednesday.
I mean, are we sure we don't want to talk about late 90s, early 2000s rappers that we want to make fun of?
I mean, we could. We could if you'd like.
I just want to see how far we have to go before we get Jamiroquai into this.
See, I wouldn't consider that a rap.
He wasn't a rapper under any circumstances. Artist. I just wanted to get the name involved in the conversation.
Oh, okay. I mean, I did like that video. It was very cutting edge with the moving floor and all that.
I saw how they made it. It ruined it.
Uh-huh.
They had conveyor belts all over the room. It really screwed things up.
Yeah, but the fact that he was able to do it in like 2 or 3 takes, that's impressive.
Okay, so when was the last time you watched that video?
It wasn't too long ago. Because like you, I saw some kind of documentary on how they made it, and that was like 2 or 3 years ago, maybe.
Yeah, Google it now with CGI and all the things, and you very quickly will go, I think there's a string on his back right there. The production values are not quite as good as I remembered them being in 1998.
Right. Jamiroquai. Was not expecting one of those references on today's show either.
You never know what you're going to get around here.
Who needs a big break when it comes to the schedule release? I mean, other than the, AFC North teams, who there's nothing really you could do to tamp down the tough schedules that those teams are facing.
Well, I do find it funny that before the break you said somehow the Bengals ended up with an easier schedule. Yeah, because they finished last in the AFC North last year.
Gotcha.
You want to know why I constantly say, hey, you're not going to make the playoffs? You should lose. That's why. Because the difference between this year playing the Jets or playing the New England Patriots, yep, that's you finish third or you finish fourth.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them makes you very happy, and one of them makes you kind of sad.
So who needs it most? Who needs a break?
Well, I feel like I have to start with a team that I haven't harped on for the last week, so I'm not going to say the Green Bay Packers.
Uh-huh.
I will say the team that needs the biggest bit of help. You said I can't say AFC North teams, right? I don't know that there's anything you can do to help them.
That's what I was saying. It's Pittsburgh and Cleveland and Baltimore. I mean, you're just getting a gauntlet, and hopefully you get 1 or 2, decent weeks at home. Other than that, you don't really have a soft spot on your schedule.
That makes me think that the team I'm about to say probably doesn't apply, but it's the team that we were just talking about, the Houston Texans. Have you looked at who it is that they play?
They've got some real tough games.
Their schedule is evil. They play the Bills. They get the Bills and the Dolphins at home.
Mm-hmm.
The Ravens, the Bears, and the Lions. There's not one team on that schedule that should finish below 500 that's not in their division.
Right.
Then you go on the road, the Patriots. Okay, I get it. That's not that daunting.
Mm-hmm. Vikings.
The Vikings. But then you get the Jets, Chiefs, Packers, and Cowboys.
That's rough.
Do you realize how bad that could be? If you get the Cowboys early and you have to go to New York, you have to go to Kansas City, you have to go to Green Bay, and you have to play those games outside and say it's in December. Houston, your schedule is going to be brutal no matter what you do. I think you're up for the challenge, but you're acclimating a new number 1 wide receiver, a new number 1 running back. You added a bunch of pieces to the defense. And I really want your schedule to be, I want the grossest part to be in the meaty clackers in October, November. And if you could get that Jets game out of the way pretty early or the Packers game out of the way pretty early, that would be advantageous to you.
It's asking quite a lot from a team that's on the rise to immediately kind of be thrown into the fire here with a schedule like that. But does it concern you all that much? Are you really concerned that the inexperience of this team together is going to affect the season?
It's not so much the inexperience, it's the youth. It's the youth and the expectation. Because let's just, and I'll take the schedule, and I'll go a path that is possible. I would say Houston probably starts the year at home. Let's say that first game is the Chicago Bears, week 1. That could be really beneficial to you. Or it could not. Because you got to deal with 3 wide receivers that are really, really good, with a secondary that is not really, really used to playing with each other. You got a new pass rusher that's not used to Will Anderson. I don't know that that's where I want their schedule to start light, get really heavy in the middle, and then be home-centric at the end.
Yeah. Which I think you unfortunately picked a bad example there, because I don't think they're going to be playing the Bears right out the gate, seeing as how that's the Hall of Fame game.
It means absolutely nothing.
Really? That could be a week 1 matchup,
Means
despite the fact that we just
nothing.
saw them open the preseason against each other?
Preseason doesn't matter. We talked about that one day last week, and I went digging for that. We have had preseason rematches in basically every week of the season over the last 10 years.
Really?
Look, the NFL knows what the preseason is. I mean, the Hall of Fame game, yeah, maybe they pushed that one away. I didn't fixate on that. I was just looking at the preseason schedules. Maybe they would push that away.
Yeah.
But even then, I mean, what do you want to start with if it's not the Titans?
Yeah.
I mean, because I think you need to get 2 wins under your belt early.
I mean, you could start with the Colts. Right, a division matchup.
But even the Colts, you're taking a team, and Anthony Richardson was fine when he was healthy. The problem is he got hurt in practically every game he played.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't really know exactly what that's going to look like. And look, Indianapolis might be better than we think. They were better than we thought last year. And so now you come out with a quarterback that you've got 4 games of film on. I don't love that. If I'm picking my poison here, I'd be much happier with the Tennessee Titans than I would be the Indianapolis Colts.
Sure.
I just feel like Houston's one of those teams they're going to try to put on primetime early.
Yes.
Like I could easily see them being the Monday night game week 1. Are we going doubleheader this year?
I believe so.
We did it last year, but it wasn't in week 1, and I never could quite figure out why that happened. I would say that probably happens this year, but I could easily see the Texans and the Bills. Oh yeah, that's Texans Bills. The Stephon Diggs game, have that early with a Bills team that I don't know exactly what you're going to get out of them.
Right, you talk about a team that can lose its allure for a matchup.
Is it bad that I'm sitting here looking at the Texans schedule, going Buffalo would be my second choice of who to play early?
No.
Like, it's not Tennessee, I will take Buffalo right off the jump because I don't think you're going to give me Minnesota. That game's on the road. You're not sending me on the road week 1.
Right.
Not with the defending rookie of the year and the team with probably the most hype in the NFL. Now that I've seen that, I can't see a path that it's not Houston Buffalo in week 1. And I will step back and go, hey, you remember that thing I said to start this? I lied. They did it right. I was wrong. NFL wins again.
Right.
Who's the team you look at as most needing the break?
Man, I keep staring at those AFC North teams and just going, how are you possibly going to be able to live up to the expectation, right? Because I have the same expectation for that division as I had last year. There should not be a team in that division that doesn't come out with double-digit wins.
And all of them promise you they don't.
All of them should be back in that same space of fighting for double-digit wins at the end of the season. And it gets real rough. The Pittsburgh Steelers, the team that we talk about all the time, well, they just figure out a way to win, right? I mean, they've got 9 games on their schedule that are just brutal. All of the division games are hell. And then you throw on the Cowboys and the Chiefs and the Chargers and the Jets. Eagles are in there as well. They got the Colts too. It's not a great schedule. Their away schedule is much easier than the home schedule. I mean, you get one, depending on how you feel about the Chargers, maybe 1.5 kind of quote-unquote layup games at home.
I don't think the Chargers are a layup. I don't think anybody thinks they're a layup. I just don't think I don't think the record's going to be particularly good.
Mm-hmm.
I think we've chalked that up to Jim Harbaugh is going to show up, and all of a sudden every deficiency they had is just going to be fixed. Have you looked at the middle of that roster? Because it's not great.
Mm-hmm. So I just don't see how you're gonna stem the tide there.
Well, I mean, I hate to say you cheated here, but you took a division that has 3 of the 6 toughest schedules in the NFL.
Absolutely. I get it. I mean, there's no helping some of these other teams, like the New England Patriots. Based on last year's, win-loss records, they have the 2nd toughest schedule in the league.
It should tell you a lot that Gerard Mayo has already come out and said, Drake May's got a lot of work to do.
I believe we lead off the next hour with that story.
We can do that.
That seems to be the way that needs to go, because this is a little tale of 2 quarterbacks in the latest news coming out of the rookie mini camps that have been happening around the league.
Does that mean it's time to break the news of where we're going for our first stop on our 2024 Eagles Living the Dream Tour?
Yeah.
Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news?
The Living the Dream Tour is possibly coming to a city near you.
If you live in the South, there's a great chance of it, especially if you live in a big city in the South.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you don't live near us and you live in the Southeast, then there's a great chance we are coming somewhere closer to your home over the upcoming football season. It is we're going to hit the road once again with Ingles Markets and some of our other partners here on the Sportsocracy, which you'll be hearing more about as this thing progresses.
We have some new friends. We have some old friends that were reunited, and it feels so good. And some that we haven't even completely hammered down yet, which if you're watching us on YouTube, you get to hear us talk about in the commercial breaks.
Yes.
But when we were at the draft, we were sitting across from the guys from ESPN El Paso. And 4 of the nicest guys you will ever meet. We had a great time with them on night 1. But they told us, one of the things I always ask is, as a media guy, you've been in this, I think one of them said he'd been doing it for 30 years. I've been doing it for 4. So what is the event that I would never think to go to that I should go to? And this was, before I even got the question out of my mouth, this was the answer that the El Paso guys gave us. August 1st through the 4th, we will actually be there. If I remember correctly, I think we get there July 31st. Canton, Ohio, we will be at the Hall of Fame induction of Julius Peppers to the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and we'll be hanging around to see the Bears and the Texans.
Yes.
And I think I said that backwards. The induction's on Saturday. We will be there for the Hall of Fame game, and then we will hang around for the induction of Julius Peppers.
It is going to be awesome. Not only Julius Peppers, but Dwight Freeney is a part of this class as well. Patrick Willis, Andre Johnson, Devin Hester. It's a great class. The senior, the senior inductees, Randy Gradishar and Steve Mongo McMichael.
I'm so excited for that one. I'm so excited for that one. I never even thought about going to the Hall of Fame game. And as soon as they said it, I'm not going to lie to you. I was working the phones at the draft, trying to figure out if there was a way to get us to Canton for this one, especially with Julius Peppers being one of the inductees. So we will have the mobile studio, which you'll be hearing a lot about in the coming weeks, and we're very excited to tell it to you. Mm-hmm. And we're headed on the road to Ohio, the Pro Football Hall of Fame, July 30th through August 4th. I checked the dates. That's when we'll be in the city.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. How's it going for Drake May early up in New England? Well, we'll talk about it up next.
Hey, it's Mark Starr. News on 570. And
Clear.
I think I beat you to the punch there,
Dr.
sorry.
Chad Reinhardt for years.
You're good.
But you don't have to take my word for it. Check out some of these 5-star reviews from Google. After searching for a dentist for months, I finally found this place. I needed some serious dental work, and they got me in within a week. If you're anxious about going to the dentist, I assure you this is the place that can give you a new outlook on having dental work done. They're upfront, honest, and caring people who own.
Back in 30 after.
Gotta check out Summit Dental in Asheville with Dr. Chad Reinhardt, home of the Comfort Menu.
Glory to the chicken wing. Help celebrate this beloved favorite at ABL Food Series' next event, Wing Wonderland. This May 18th at the Mule at Devil's Foot Brewing. Local area chefs will showcase their yummiest wings. You can wash them down with Devil's Foot beverages, cocktails, and beer. Wing Wonderland has free games for kids, live music, and more for grown-ups. It's a wing ding you'll remember. Get tickets and find out more at ShayBrownEvents.com. That's ShayBrownEvents.com.
Every so often in medicine, something comes along that is truly revolutionary.
Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, former orthopedic surgeon, now National Medical Director at QC Kinetics.
I believe this is one of those things.
Dr. Scheinkup is talking about regenerative medicine, something he's practiced, researched, and written about for nearly 2 decades.
The old ways of dealing with joint pain, such as steroids and surgery, are no longer the best ways.
If you have pain from arthritis or injury, you owe it to yourself to learn more about this exciting option, using your own body's natural power to get lasting relief. And there's no better place to learn than QC Kinetics.
There is no one in this country today with more clinics, more satisfied patients, more advanced protocols, or more experience in using this exciting option to deliver life-changing results.
Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
It's not too late for a deep spring cleaning on your home. Give my friends at Zero Res Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning a call. Right now, mention ESPN Asheville, and you'll get 3 rooms of carpet clean for only $129. Book online at ZeroResAsheville.com.
Sandstone Health and Rehabilitation is known for compassionate care for all across its 18 North Carolina locations. Whether your loved one needs short-term rehabilitation or long-term care, our exceptional staff and comprehensive services are here to support their recovery or ongoing needs.
At Ingalls, we're proud to work with hundreds of local farms and businesses in the communities we call home. Not only does it ensure that you get top-quality, fresh items for your family table, it's a way for us to support the amazing individuals who pour their heart and soul into delivering the very best they can do. Quality, freshness, community, it's all in the bag. Ingalls, low prices, love the savings.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. And did I mention that Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers? We love teachers so much, we're giving back 25% of our commission at closing. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Cloudy and breezy out here this afternoon with a few showers possible, low 70s. Better rain chances tonight, even a few rumbles of thunder. Temperatures tonight in the upper 50s. Showers and storms Tuesday. High temperatures tomorrow, upper 60s to near 70. Showers, even storms for Wednesday. Highs in the low 70s. Sunny skies for Thursday, upper 70s to near 80. Chance of showers again Friday, cooler, low 70s. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by Apple Tree Superstore.
Go check out the all-new Apple Tree Advantage at the Apple Tree Automotive Superstore. It's your home for brand new Hondas, brand new Acuras, and a wide selection of local trade-ins. It's the all-new Apple Tree Advantage at the Apple Tree Automotive Superstore. Online at appletreesuperstore.com and look 26 at Airport Road, Asheville.
Daily draft, let's do our
even
we'll
with
pick
higher
our
stroke
favorite
risk from atrial
matchup.
fibrillation and a regular heart valve problem.
We'll extend it out to
study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduce stroke risk better than water.
Okay.
97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1.
Here comes the legal.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF.
Cute call.
iHeart Radio Station.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, bank. That's bank. Enter it now.
Log on now to ESPNAVL.com.
The Sportsocracy.
It fires me up, man. I love it. Say it one more time.
The Sportsocracy.
Shake it back!
Beer City's best sports talk.
It is gross.
Just earlier.
They are mature, actually. You just have to get to know them better.
Your lunchtime dose of dumbassery. Live from the Ingalls studio.
And welcome back into the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. The Sportsocracy is heard everywhere on the iHeart Radio app and seen everywhere on YouTube. Just go to the sportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel, and that way you can join us in the chat each and every day. Get your thoughts in on whatever we're talking about. And we want to talk quarterbacks here for a moment because rookie mini camps are taking place around the league. And, well, the first reactions out of New England about number 3 pick Drake May, I mean, it's not great. It's not glowing. You know, normally you would want your coach to come out and be like, oh, man, he's awesome. I can't wait. It's just so great that we had him at number 3.
Out here throwing darts, baby. Just got him raining from the sky.
Quote, Drake has a lot of work to do. Or no, quote, he has a lot to work on. That's not the ringing endorsement that I wanted to hear right away from the new head coach. However, I mean, maybe this is the old Bill Belichick rule, right? Gerard Mayo was brought up in the Bill Belichick school. Don't let them think they're better than they are, you know? Even Tom Brady needs to be brought down a few pegs. So maybe he's taking that path with Drake. I don't know. The way they describe it, it just seems like he's definitely out of place to start with.
Okay, so now is probably the time that people think that I'm going to eviscerate New England, and this is what I'm not. It's a rookie mini camp where you've got a new offensive coordinator with the rawest of all of the quarterbacks that was in the first round that wasn't named J.J. McCarthy. I'm not shocked, and I'm really not shocked when it came from New England because this is what they do. Look, New England, you can tell me about, well, Bill's not here anymore. We're changing, blah, 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 blah. No, you're not. No, you're not. Here's the difference in where you were and where you are right now. You have a Belichick disciple that is not as good of a defensive coach as him. That's not a slight. He's one of the best ones that ever lived. And in game, I think you're going to see a difference, and it's not going to be for the better. But you had to turn the page on Bill. My knock was always that things aren't going to change as much as you think because the New England Patriots are the disapproving father of the NFL. They're really chintzy with the old praise, and they really heap on the criticism. It doesn't surprise me. There's nothing about this. There was a lot made of this story. It was the number one story on ESPN.com for 2 full days.
Yep.
It's not as big a story as it sounds like. Look, a lot of rookies come into rookie camp and don't look great. You know what should tell you more about how Drake looked? Look at what the receivers said. Jalen Polk waxed poetic about him. Said he was fantastic. I put more stock in that than he's got a lot to work on. Of course he's got a lot to work on. He's a rookie.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And his rookie year, it's going to be bumpy and it's going to be ugly. It's just what you should expect. The question is, can you develop him between year 1 and year 3? I don't feel warm and fuzzy about that, but it has nothing to do with this statement.
The way that they describe him being basically like a fish out of water in this system, right? It's a quick hit, little drop timing kind of a thing. That's not really what Drake does.
No.
And so there's I was not surprised to hear that there's a curve here. But again, like a learning curve for him in the new offense and everything. But again, it's not normally what you would want to hear out of your coach. It's not the glowing endorsement, right, that you would expect from many teams. Like, I don't know, the Denver Broncos. Are we taking anything that Sean Payton says with more than a grain of salt?
No.
After he waxed poetic about being able to change Russell Wilson and he was perfect for his system and blah, 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 blah. Well, I'm sure you heard the report about Bo Nix that basically he was perfect. In fact, he was so perfect, it was just boring to watch him out there. Almost like watching a good golfer, Sean Payton says. Just the patience that he takes with every throw. It's on time, it's on pace, it's in stride, all of the things.
Hey, was he wearing a pair of shorts?
He was.
Oh, yeah. Then I don't care.
Wearing them great, too.
Oh, then I don't care. Okay? Bad is going to be bad. And I'm going to reaffirm the exact same thing that I said about Bo Nix when we went through the process. Hey, so he looked like a good golfer and it was so boring. Hey, how old were the people he was going up against in a non-contact practice? Oh, they're all younger than him because it was rookie camp. Wait till you get him on a field with the pros. I went back and watched tape on him from the time he was 19 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I have never at any point looked at him and gone, yep, that's franchise quarterback. Now, I didn't do that really with Brock Purdy either, but Brock Purdy is on one of the most talented top-end rosters in the NFL, and Bo Nix has been surrounded by Christian boy band Bad in his quarterback room. By the way, who's the smart one in that room? Is it Bo Nix? Is he like the most veteran? I'm going to turn to you to really diagnose what we're seeing on the field? Or are we going Jared Stidham?
I think it would be Stidham.
Ooh. You mean
it's
the guy
definitely
that,
not Zach.
You mean the guy that New England basically said was too stupid to learn their offense? Awesome. That's your veteran leader. Sweet. No, I put zero stock in this.
In either report.
It's not great that Drake didn't look great in a pair of shorts. I just don't really care. Bo Nix, I expect him to look good in shorts. I saw that at the Senior Bowl. When things got a little sideways? In pads. When there was a defense that he had to deal with.
Yep.
I mean, I watched it. You can't tell me anything. I sat there for 4 days watching Bo Nix undershoot crossing routes, inconsistently hit guys over the middle. I watched receivers get frustrated with him. I watched coaches get frustrated with him. 3 practices over 4 days. I never at any point went, first-round pick. You don't even look like a first-round pick against Cammy defense. No, I'm good. You're going to say this because you're going to try to put lipstick on this pig. I'm still going to ask you why it oinks. So you can shine this up real nice if you want to. And as The Rock said, you can write up your candy keister.
Kevin Vick in the YouTube comments wants to know if you had to go to the VHS tape to get 19-year-old Bo Nix.
No, it wasn't that long ago. I mean, although if I had a VHS player, I would probably use it.
For what?
I don't know.
I don't know. Do you have anything to put in that VHS taper?
No.
Player?
No. I mean, You know me well enough to know, how many movies do you think there are in this house?
4. They all belong to your wife.
You're too high. There are no. I cannot think of one. In the break, I can go look in our entertainment center and see if there's one straggler in there. And if there is, I guarantee you, it's going to be the most off the wall title you could think of.
Did you ever have movies? Like actual physical copies of movies?
My wife did. I think they're in our storage unit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just.
I was gonna say,
I'm not a movie
what did you do with it?
I never understood why people bought movies.
Well, because you just couldn't watch them at any time back in the day.
Oh, so I can rewatch something that I already know how it ends?
Yes.
That is riveting entertainment right there.
Well, that doesn't make any sense because you've been watching the Jets for 30 years and you know how that's going to end.
Hey, but that one time it ended a little different and it lasted longer into January and it was a lot of fun for me. So go away. Okay?
Look, I like being able to watch movies whenever I want to, and so I have an extensive collection. The problem is now I don't use any of them because, well, they're all on my television. I have the streaming services, and at any given moment, very rarely do I ever go, ooh, I really want to watch that movie. Oh, it's not on somewhere. Now I have to go find the hard copy, which I have had to do, but for the most part, you can find it on any streaming service.
Yeah, I'm good.
So it's rendered,
and I also
rendered my collection of 428 DVDs just useless.
Which it was.
And yes, I have that many.
Which it was also useless at the time of purchase.
It was not. You stop.
Look, I can watch Bad News Bears anytime I want to.
Damn right.
Sweet.
All 3 copies of it.
Oh, God.
Only got the original, and then I've got Bad News Bears 2. And then I also have the one with Billy Bob Thornton. You got to have the collection. Gotta have all of them.
The only thing that was ever better with Billy Bob Thornton was Angelina Jolie, and that's because she was way crazier.
Good for you.
She was wearing like vials of his blood around her neck.
She also had a thing with her brother too, so I don't.
Yeah,
that's just weird.
Oh yeah, she. Nope. Something we're going to announce on Friday. This would be a great topic for that particular part of our 2024 season. Not necessarily terrestrial radio, because anything I want to say here will get me fired.
I said, "Are we going to West Virginia?"
Hey,
I didn't know that was on the trip schedule.
You listen
here. Drake May early struggles at rookie minicamp for the New England Patriots. He's working on stances, playing with stances to figure out how to operate in this quick release offense that they're going to be running up there. Thankfully, they have Jacoby Brissett to lean on. And, hey, maybe this is just the early, hey, we're going to play Jacoby. Jacoby's going to get playing time to start out this season. Y'all need to just hold your horses. Yes, we spent the number 3 pick on this kid, but he's not ready just yet. So if I tell you immediately he's struggling to pick things up or to find his stances or whatever, just know this is a work in progress. And we don't want to throw this kid out there.
Well, and what you just said there, I think, that's the bigger takeaway for me, is that really feels like Gerard Mayo is planting the seed of the Jacoby Brissett starts week 1 plant.
Yes.
There is one more rookie that I feel like we have to talk about.
Okay.
Oh, Caleb Williams is QB1. In other news, water's wet and today's Monday. Sweet.
That explains so much because I didn't realize that was a story, like that was a news release that came out the other day. I was wearing the Bears jersey on Friday, I believe it was. Went to the store afterwards, and some guy stops me in the store like, hey, can you believe it? I'm like, believe what? Caleb Williams is going to be the starting quarterback. Well, yeah. I thought we knew that.
Duh.
Like, what? Did you think that they were going to start a backup after taking him number 1 and trading Justin Fields away? Just curious.
The rookie
I don't even know who the backup would be.
Tyson
Who is their
Bagent.
backup? Oh, yeah, definitely not playing Tyson Bagent.
Secret Bagent man.
You think it's going to work?
The rookie I was referring to was Spencer Rattler.
Okay.
Because we have Andres Pinckney, Notorious B.I.G., just a slew of Saints fans in our comments that are basically all saying, man, I'm getting real tired of Spencer Rattler already. That was my point. Everybody that said, oh, it's such a great pick in the 5th round. Yeah. It's not. And I'll tell you why it's not. Because when you have a quarterback that is as popular with your media members as, I don't know, a poop in the floor, then it gets real easy for them to lose their mind about the big arm quarterback who, in a pair of shorts, I will tell you, looks pretty impressive, especially when it doesn't matter where the ball lands. So you get through these rookie mini camps and, yeah, you just heap praise on, he could be our next starter. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, when you put a pad on, that's when things kind of become, it's where the rubber meets the road, which takes me to our next story. We have our first super chat of the day.
All right. Where's my button? There it is.
Yeah! It's from our buddy Soaring Eagle. He sent me part of this story. I uncovered some more of it, and then I have some insight from our travels in the past year. He said, you may not be the highest on Bo Nix, but it could be worse. You could have a quarterback room featuring "Let's Ride" and toxicity personified. And it's that second thing he said that I want to talk about, because there are a slew of reports out about one Mr. Justin Nathaniel Fields Sr. Esquire, and ain't not one of them good. And I hate to tell you I told you so, but I told you so.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke
clear
and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis Apixaban tablets reduce stroke risk better than warfarin.
Yeah, you might want to pull up the stories about Justin Fields, because I'm about to just
a first stroke occurred in 2.9%
bash him
of
sideways for about 12 minutes.
2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription.
Roger that.
Asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and, in rare cases, fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Ooh, ma. What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud phone system. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very
calm. I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business calm at ooma.com/radio.
The Angie's List you know and trust is now Angie, and we're so much more than just a list. We still connect you with top local pros and show you ratings and reviews, but now we also let you compare upfront prices on hundreds of projects and book a service instantly. We can even handle the rest of your project from start to finish. So remember, Angie's List is now Angie, and we're here to get your job done right. Get started at Angie.com. That's ANGI, or download the app today.
I'm Julian Edelman from Games with Names, and we're on a search to find the greatest games of all time with the players and coaches who lived in them. Ever wonder what a locker room feels like at a halftime of a Super Bowl? Or what about the after parties? We're going to dive deep into the most iconic games with the most iconic people. New episodes dropping weekly. Listen to Games with Names on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
When the flowers come into bloom, it is like a field of dreams. Hi, I'm Belinda Smith. My husband Russ and I own Briar Hill Farm in Pickens, South Carolina. Ingles has really brought awareness to locally grown flowers. And they've made it convenient for customers to be able to purchase local flowers, and customers realize the advantage of local flowers being fresher and lasting longer.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. And did I mention that Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers? We love teachers so much, we're giving back 25% of our commission at closing. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
The Sportsocracy.
Pull up your pants, take off the bra, and be a man!
We're back at the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. I'm live in the Ingalls studio, coming to you remotely from Mullet Manor. Jeremy Greene. I'm Tank Spencer, and as we continue down the path here, just stay with us as we'll have another secret Easter egg drop from our upcoming Living the Dream tour. Sportsocracy going on the road a bunch this football season, and we have already kicked it off with the kickoff of the preseason Hall of Fame game. We're going to be there August 1st through the 4th in Canton, Ohio.
And we would love to see all of our lovely Ohioan listeners in Canton.
Absolutely.
And we'll try to get Julius Peppers on with us. I don't know when he's coming to Canton. I sent the request, and we may have him early. Who knows? I've actually known Julius since I was 9 years old. He was a camp counselor of mine at Carolina basketball camp.
Yeah.
He's also the biggest human I've ever seen in my life. Now, it might be because I was 9, and so I wasn't the large man that you see now, but Julius Peppers had the biggest hands I have ever seen in my life.
Yep. Justin Fields is apparently having, issues. Well, since he came into the league, it's been an issue for Chicago Bears fans trying to figure out, is he a good quarterback in this league? Is he ever going to be decent? Now he doesn't have to be, they don't have to worry about him. They've got bigger worries with Caleb Williams, but now he's off with Russell Wilson in Pittsburgh. And a story has come out, or details are coming out, about the toxic relationship that he had with some former quarterbacks on his team back in 2021. So he was on the team, and they decided, well, we got this young guy learning how to play quarterback in the NFL, so we're going to bring in Andy Dalton, or I think he was already there, and they brought in Nick Foles as well, or vice versa, however those two things happened. Apparently, while he was in the room, they were trying to teach him stuff, and he wasn't too receptive of it. Who's shocked?
Well, look, we have a lot of friends, especially in the draft community. Well, this year, anytime you want to know how podcasters and beat writers and things like that work, the more draft capital you have, the more around the draft process your guys are. So I probably saw double the number of Bears guys in our travels than I did any other team. There was one common theme that I heard from anybody around the Bears. Justin Fields is a weird dude. He's a loner. He likes to sit at home with his dog. He doesn't have a lot of friends. He didn't have a lot of friends at Ohio State. He didn't have a lot of friends at Georgia. He's just a weird dude. Now, he was very friendly with DJ Moore, and DJ Moore liked what he produced for him. DJ Moore was the only guy that really pounded the table for Justin Fields. Does that surprise you? No, it shouldn't. None of this should surprise you. Because Tank and I have been hearing this for 3 solid years of people think he's weird. He doesn't really form relationships easily. And so you get this, and this is what's always so funny to me about how these things are phrased. Did you notice that nobody said this? You never heard these stories in print until Justin Fields was gone. And then the avalanche of it just comes pouring out. Because I have another story from Tyler Dunn, NFL writer, talked to a former coach of the Chicago Bears, who I feel very sure I know who it is, but in the effort of journalistic integrity, I'm not going to say that name, but I have a feeling you know who I'm talking about. Here was his take on Justin Fields when he was asked about him. Watch his eyes. He tries to see the whole thing and doesn't see anything. His eyes are all over the place, and it's just really hard to watch. It's just bad football. That's what I said about him coming out of Ohio State. None of this is new. The reason that you didn't hear it is because he is super talented. It's just a question of, is it ever going to click? You didn't hear him get bashed because he might have been the franchise quarterback in Chicago. There are still Chicago Bear fans that think they should have traded this number one pick. Yeah. Now, those people are insane and completely out of their damn minds, but they exist. Justin Fields is not a good NFL quarterback. He never was. I call this the fantasification of NFL football. You get so locked into your fantasy team that the fact that this kid can run for 100 yards and has these ridiculously long runs, that makes you think he's good. He's not. He could have been had for the price of a bag of footballs. Nobody was interested. The Atlanta Falcons, who I said, oh, this makes all the sense in the world because of the connection with Arthur Smith. The minute they fired him, they had no interest. None. Terry Fontenot, Raheem Morris, none of them. There's reason for that.
But guess who did? But guess who did? Arthur Smith.
And if I was a Steeler fan, I don't know if that would make me really nervous or if it would make me go, how much worse can it be than Kenny Pickett?
Yeah.
How much worse can it be than what we've had over the course of the last handful of years?
Well, we had Kenny Pickett, and it wasn't great, and we had Mason Rudolph, which was, not great either, and Russell Wilson's probably not going to be great, but Justin Fields is probably not going to be great.
Justin Wilson's is actually he's a field crew guy at Heinz Field.
No, he was the Raging Cajun. You remember him from old TV? No, one of the first TV chefs, Justin Wilson. You remember him? Okay, all right. Anyway, anyhow, Justin Fields not going to be good either. However, I mean, at least we've got a future plan for bad quarterback play. It shouldn't make you feel good at all, and it definitely should not make you feel good that, okay, we may have bad quarterback play again this year, but you know what we have this year that we didn't have last year? Toxic relationships. That's right, in the quarterback room. How can that not make you feel warm and fuzzy?
Well,
because one of the stories is that Justin Fields was, he's at practice. Nick Foles is trying to show him something. And then Foles just realizes Fields ain't even listening. He's not even looking at him. He's not even paying attention to what he's saying. That is frightening to me. That you can have somebody who has won a Super Bowl in this league. I don't care if you think that you're physically superior to him, which you are in every way. You still have to be open to learning and criticism and, knowing how to do things properly, running through progressions, those are skills that can be taught that you're not even paying attention to. That's frightening to me.
What Eat and Sleep Football, who is a Steelers fan, said in our YouTube comments, my problem is not just with Russ or Fields, it's having both of them in the same room. Yeah. Because you're not going to get what Nick Foles was trying to do. All right, Nick Foles is a consummate pro, and look how glowingly people in Philadelphia speak about him. Even in the places where it went poorly, it's hard to find somebody to say much bad about Nick Foles because he was such a good teammate. Andy Dalton, same way. He's here in Carolina at Panthers camp. The number one thing I heard last year, it's shocking how open Andy Dalton is to being a coach on the field and to help with Bryce Young and all of the things like that. You had two guys like that. Now you're taking that away. You couldn't bring in any form of competition because I want you to think about this. Justin Fields, his make or break year was last year, right? The backup was Tyson Bagent. What does that tell you? That tells you that this story had gotten around and veteran quarterbacks went, I'm good. I don't want to sit behind this guy where the fan base is out of their mind anyway because they either know what he is or they're so delusional that they're never going to see what he is. Why would I want to do this? And that's how you end up with an undrafted rookie free agent as your backup. Now you're putting him in a room with Let's Ride, who has alienated himself from every teammate he's had the entire time since he got out of Seattle. And frankly, it had gotten bad at the end in Seattle. So now you have two guys that are alpha personalities. They're B talents. This is the 4 that thinks they're a 10. That really annoying girl that you just go, for the love of God, I wish you would shut up. Now you have 2 of them. You have 2 of them in the same room and they're competing with each other. What do you think's going to happen with the one that has to sit on the bench? How often do you think you're going to look at either Russell Wilson or Justin Fields with their helmet in their hand and their arms crossed, just wishing they were anywhere else? Mm-hmm. That is a level of toxicity that the Pittsburgh Steelers are not used to. Now, is there a coach in this league that's more able to deal with that than Mike Tomlin? Maybe not. There might not be. But I feel like you have subjected yourself to something here that you didn't have to. And I just don't see how it's going to work. These are 2 explosive personalities. And now you put them in a powder keg.
Another damning quote from the Dunn article on Justin Fields is, quote, one source plugged into the Bears locker room says the widely held narrative that Fields was a strong leader is inflated, citing the quarterback as, quote, a surface-level dude who didn't develop authentic relationships with teammates. He called reports that the teammates love Fields, quote, BS. Adding that the quarterback carried himself with an undeserved aura and lacks emotional intelligence for someone who's been a quarterback so long. The Steeler way better work, right? The Steeler way better be, unwavering for this to work with 2 toxic personalities in that quarterback room.
How does it work? I want you to explain to me the path where this works. This is where I always run into problems with the way teams build out their roster. You got to give me a path that it could work because one of them has to sit. And whichever one sits is going to be a little bit of a problem.
I think this is one of those scenarios where whichever one doesn't have the job ain't on this team. Yes. It's the Cam Newton rule. Right? If he can't be the starter, he can't be a distraction. So we're going to go into training camp. We're going to have our little quarterback battle here, and Russell Wilson's going to face off against Justin Fields. And if it comes down to, preseason game number 4 to make the decision, one of them's getting moved. I would have to think. Because neither one of them has the personality of the rah-rah backup clipboard holder.
No, they don't. And I feel like that's what this I'm glad you got there. We didn't talk about this before the show, but I fully intended on talking about this topic today. I'm glad you got to the same point I did. I feel like Pittsburgh's going to go into the preseason. They're going to try to keep these guys as far away from each other as humanly possible. And you just battle it out to the death. One of them starts first preseason game. One of them starts second preseason game. Whichever one you think is in the lead starts the final one. And so long as they don't do anything to waver your mind, you start trying to move the other one at halftime.
Yep.
And if you can't move them, you just cut them. I mean, you owe neither one of them any form of money. So there is nothing that would keep them on these rosters. I hadn't looked at it that way until I saw all these reports, and I had heard a lot of this in the first place. Not so much that Fields was a bad guy as he is just entitled. I think you used that word earlier from the Tyler Dunn article.
Yeah.
I've heard that for a long time. And then you listen to him talk he already thinks he's one of the 5 best running quarterbacks of all time. Like, dude, are you out of your mind? Do you have no ability to look at this from a 1,500-foot view? I mean, I'm not saying you got to see the entire league. Just look at you. You've been awful. But for your entire career, there's never been a 2-game period where you walked away from Justin Fields and went, that's a starting NFL quarterback. You did think it sometimes, hey, he's a really good runner. Other than that, there was nothing there.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400.
This is your Exergen scanner weather.
You're clear.
Denver.
ESPN Asheville.
Cloudy and breezy out here this afternoon with a few showers possible, low 70s. Better rain chances tonight, even a few rumbles of thunder. Temperatures tonight in the upper 50s. Showers and storms Tuesday. High temperatures tomorrow, upper 60s to near 70. Showers, even storms for Wednesday. Highs in the low 70s. Sunny skies for Thursday, upper 70s to near 80. Chance of showers again Friday, cooler, low 70s. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by
Bojangles. It's always bow time.
It's bow time. When you combine the bold taste of a Bojangles Chicken Supreme with dill pickles, Carolina Gold barbecue sauce, and a toasted bun that's great on the go, you get both Bird Dog. In fact, you can grab 2 of them for $5, available for a limited time only. It's bow time.
This is the absolute worst time of the year to be dealing with joint pain. You can't do the outdoor stuff you love to do. Hiking, jogging, biking, playing on the beach. Listen, don't go through the summer missing out on life. Call QC Kinetics now and find out how they can use biologics from your own body to give new life to your achy joints, knees, hips, back, and shoulder. QCS regenerative medicine protocols can restore and repair that damaged tissue with no surgery, no steroids, no drugs, no downtime. This is the future of medicine. Tens of thousands of QC Kinetics patients around the country are living their best life this year because they made the call. QC medical professionals are under the direction of Dr. Mitchell Shinecup, who was an orthopedic surgeon who became a true pioneer in regenerative medicine. He knew there had to be a better way. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation. Revolutionary treatments for joint pain are here. Call 828-333-9517 in Asheville and Greenville. That's 828-333-9517 in Asheville and Greenville.
The Biltmore Kiwanis Classic races are back. Sunday,
For
May
this
19th,
one, get your,
it's a 15K and a 5K at the beautiful Biltmore Estate. Participants will enjoy a beautiful run on the grounds of the estate, plus a race T-shirt, finisher medal, entry to the estate for the morning, commemorative race bib, and a whole lot of fun. All proceeds of the race benefit the Kiwanis Club of Asheville. For more information and to get signed up, go to BiltmoreKiwanisClassic.com. BiltmoreKiwanisClassic.com. Proudly sponsored by iHeartMedia Asheville.
At Ingles Weather, we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park. It's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
We're back counting down to kickoff. Let's look at today's 3 keys to premium pre-gaming with Beast Unleashed, presented by Monster Brewing. Number 1, beat the heat.
Unleash the beast with bold, familiar flavors, 0 caffeine and 0 sugar.
Number 2, running the option.
There's 4 to choose from: White Haze, Peach Perfect, Scary Berries, and my personal favorite, Mean Green.
And number 3, at 6% ABV, Max Protect.
Always drink responsibly, and you must be 21 or over.
Beast Unleashed, available at your local retailer.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at ClarissaSellsWNC.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or ClarissaSellsWNC@gmail.com.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
It is ESPN Asheville, and Jeremy, the end of the school year is upon us. I know you have a high schooler around now.
I do,
and I'm getting like a buzz. Oh, no. Okay, there it goes. It died down for me. So you have a high schooler hanging around. Is said high schooler involved, or have you heard said high schooler talk about pranks at the end of the year?
No.
Do they still do those routinely in school?
No.
I feel like it's hard.
I'm not going to say mine wouldn't do it. I would be a little surprised.
Okay. All right. I mean, it feels like all of the good ones are played out. Like somebody's done it already. Generation to generation, you have the same prank stories come down that oh, so-and-so did this. Ain't it funny? Well, yeah, we did that 20 years ago. Oh, and we generally did it better.
Oh, no
20
doubt.
Years ago as well.
Children of this society, just know anything that you think you can do, we did it better.
Well, this is one I got to give credit for. In Illinois, a couple of high school seniors pulled off a prank that I thought is pretty original. So Maggie Moore and Pierce Hill, they both split the cost of hiring an entertainer to come to Richwoods High School and perform in probably the most annoying fashion possible. They hired a bagpiper named Scott Whitman to come to the school and follow around the principal for an hour, continuously playing his bagpipes. It was an approved stunt by other administrators in the school, so they gave access to this bagpiper who came in full kilt, full regalia. He's like the local bagpiper when they call for the parade or for the funeral or whatever. He's actually a professor himself at Illinois Wesleyan University. He's the head of the music program there, and came and followed around the principal for an hour. That's hilarious. They said they wanted to get a mariachi band, but it was out of their price range. Because, I mean, they are just high school seniors. You got to pay like 5 guys, right, to do the mariachi thing. The bagpiper, it's only one salary we got to pay. I give them credit for this one because I wish I'd have thought of it.
That would be quite possibly the most annoying day of my life because that noise is horrific, and that's coming from an Irishman. It's terrible. My story sounds like it would be a prank, but it was serious. It's about Sean Herman. He was a member of the Metro Nashville Police Department. Well, apparently he got the bright idea to start a side hustle. And his side hustle was that he met an OnlyFans model named Jordan, who in her profile says she's in the top 0.2% of content creators. I don't know how much you know about OnlyFans, but if you're in the top 0.2%, it means that you do a specific kind of content, which is exactly what Jordan does. So Officer Herman was in a video. You never see his face, but I'll tell you at the end of this how they identified him. So in the video, Jordan is with her male friend. I didn't watch the video, so I'm only giving the play-by-play of what I was told. She gets pulled over. The title of the video is, "I Can't Believe He Didn't Arrest Me." Maybe you see where this is headed. She does not have her identification or her vehicle registration in the video, which is obviously fictitious. And after telling the officer this, she reveals her bazoombas, which he then proceeds to enjoy. So, but he never showed his face. How did we possibly know who this was? Because he was in uniform. This idiot wore his Nashville police uniform to be in a porno video. And, of course, he is now former member of the Metro Nashville Police Department.
Yes.
It dumbfounds me how stupid some of these people can be. I also would love to know, I would love to be privy to one of those conversations when that comes out. Because there's one question that I would have to ask. How'd you find this? Do you just so happen to subscribe to Miss Jordan's content? Did someone send it to you?
Somebody did.
Were you just strolling along the interwebs looking for pornographies with Nashville police officers in it? I mean, that's a very specific desire that I don't really understand. But
no, I feel like this had to be, or these situations have to be either like a former girlfriend finds out about it and tells, or I just don't feel like it's. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not. Maybe I'm giving everybody too much of the benefit of the doubt, going, there aren't that many people subscribed and they'll see it.
Kevin Vick may have the early entrant for comment of the week with Two Girls, One Cop. Let's go. Let's go. And I will tell you this, for scientific purposes, if you were going to get fired over doing an adult video with a particular content creator, Miss Jordan would be pretty high on the list.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's not fun to look at. So there's that.
Yes. In a run up to the NFL season where we have nothing to talk about, one of the stories making headlines before the schedule release comes up on Wednesday. That's the big headline of the week. Dan Quinn apparently causing stirs up there in the nation's capital. Did you see what he wore to practice the other day?
I did, and if that shirt was available, I'd buy it right now.
100%. He is doing some guerrilla marketing here for somebody. I don't know who's selling these, but they're going to make a whole boatload of money.
Mm-hmm.
The Washington Commanders shirt that has the new logo, the new word mark, however, it's got the two feathers hanging off the W. Oh, racist. It's a part of the culture, right? It's a part of the team's history. Every Commanders fan who was a fan before the last 2 years is probably going to want one of these shirts.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. And we've gotten to a point in our careers where you can get mad at us and you can reach us if you disagree with us. Him at Sports Tank ESPN, me at ESPN Draft Nerd. I have never met a person who is offended by what that name used to be. And you might say, but listen, you big leprechaun, you're not necessarily the one that would be most offended by that until you get to the part where I have 2 children that are part Cherokee Indian. So my ex-wife's entire family was Cherokee Indian. So if there was ever going to be somebody that would have a pretty good idea of how people that might be offended by this felt, that would be one of them. So when I find somebody that was offended by it, maybe I'll change my opinion. But I haven't. And I'm not talking Asheville offended where you get pissed because it's Tuesday, okay?
I'm offended by proxy.
If you've ever been to a Buncombe County Town Council meeting with something to really talk about, you probably don't count. Especially if you've been to more than 3. If you have Kim Roney's number on speed dial, you're not really who I'm looking to talk to here. Oh, I'm mad. You know what else you're mad about? I don't know. Everything.
Yeah. This fueling, of course, the speculation of, remember the Commanders were going to change the name again. Josh Harris had to come out again and say, no, that's not happening. We're not changing the name. He would not comment on the old T-shirt, though, which I feel like in secret he was going, yes.
Oh,
thumbs up.
All right. I know I'm the conspiracy theory guy. I got that. I wear that hat proudly. If you think Dan Quinn wore that shirt just completely of his own volition and nobody knew about it, I got a bridge to sell you. I will bet you anything you want that somebody in that building went, hey, Dan, how you feel about wearing this shirt to rookie minicamp?
Hey, Dan, we got you a new shirt.
We're just curious. Dan, you're the new coach. There's some hype. We got a new quarterback. Things are going hunky-dunky. Maybe we're going to use you as the potential lightning rod. You've been in this league for a long time. Even if this doesn't work out in Washington, you're going to have a cushy place to land as a defensive coordinator. So let's see how this shirt does in market research. And if Twitter's any inclination, it's pretty good. Good.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm not even a Washington Commanders fan, and I'm interested.
I'd wear it. Can you buy it anywhere? Absolutely. Did you search to see if you could buy it anywhere?
I did not. I did not see if you could buy it anywhere.
Because if you can buy it, frankly, I'm that guy. I'll buy it just to piss somebody off. So I don't care. Oh, well, you want to fight? I mean, I'm not the one, bro. But
yeah, and in other news, water is wet.
Oh, what? That I'd wear it just to anger somebody? Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, if you've got a shirt that could be a little spicy, I know a guy that might be a fun model for you.
Mm-hmm. Over under double digits on kickoff return touchdowns this year, Jeremy.
Total. We had 4 last year.
Mm-hmm.
It's more than that.
It's over 10, you think?
10 was the number I had in my head.
Mm-hmm.
If you said it at 9.5, I'd go over. If you said it at 10.5, I'd go under.
Okay.
Because I don't think it's going to change that much.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, definitely will give you more opportunities.
That is quite the shift. A more than 100% increase in kickoff returns for a touchdown would be something, but we have the drastic change in the kickoff rule, and Sean Payton, he's convinced that we are going to have a bunch of kickoff returns for touchdowns this year with the new rule change.
Hey, Sean, maybe you should bet on it. I mean, he's already been suspended for a year once. Why not do it again?
You put the money down on it. I wonder if that is a prop that you can find on the old DraftKings Sportsbook app.
I will
Just
say
curious.
I highly doubt it. There is a lot of volatility in that.
Mm-hmm. Seems like something that somebody would have a number on.
I can't tell you that nobody would have a number on it. I would be shocked if the bigger spots did.
Mm-hmm. The more and more I think about it, the more excited I'm getting over the kickoff rule. But does this make you go out and get the new Madden just so you can have the new kickoff rule on?
Well, I mean, I'll get the new Madden anyway, and I'll also get the new college football game, and I don't care if I have to pay $150 for it. It's fine. Don't care.
$150.
That's the Heisman edition.
Oh,
I'll pay it. Don't care. Don't care. Give it to me now. Give it
what
to
extra
me.
do you get for that? That's
Don't care. I don't care if I get to look at Reggie Bush's Heisman. Do I get to play this game 5 minutes before anybody else does? I'm in. You know what else I'm excited about?
What's that?
We're going on the road. It's time to announce another game.
Yes. Are we going to see the national champions this year?
Tank, this is your team, so I will let you announce this here game.
Are we just going in order here?
Yes.
By the ones on the sheet? Okay.
The ones that we're releasing today are indeed in order.
Very good. Yes, our second stop after Hall of Fame weekend in Canton, Ohio, which we told you about in the 3 o'clock or the 1 o'clock hour or the 12 o'clock hour. I don't even know what hour it is. Now we're going to hit the road to go down to the Mercedes-Benz Dome for the Aflac kickoff game, Georgia and the Clemson Tigers.
I'm so excited.
It's going to be great.
I have to admit that this was a game that Tank had kind of circled, and the more I thought about it, the more I couldn't figure out a way to not go to this game. First of all, you're in the best stadium in football, and it's not even really all that close.
Which I'm really excited about because I've never been there.
Okay, so I was going to ask that question. You have never been in the Benz Dome?
No.
It is out of this world good. I mean, it is as good as you will ever see a football stadium. And now I will say I've never seen a college game in it. And I'm curious to see if the atmosphere holds and all of the things hold for that. I'm so excited about the Aflac kickoff game. Mercedes-Benz Dome, August 31st. Is that right?
Yes, August 31st.
It went off my screen. So that is the first handful of legs of our tour. We're going to announce one more date at the end of the next hour. We're off tomorrow. We'll throw you a couple extra Easter eggs on the social medias over the next 2 days, and then we will release the full because we got to play some NFL dates in there. We don't know the schedule either.
Right.
I had to clarify that to somebody the other day. You do get none of us know, right? Adam Schefter is sitting at home the same time you are going, oh, well, that'll be fun.
You are in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, the Living the Dream Tour. We're hitting the road even more for 2024. And thanks to our partners at Ingles Supermarkets. Low prices, love the savings. We'll have all more details on the Living the Dream Tour coming your way as the days progress here in the Sportsocracy. Before we
move off that, Jonathan Welch in the YouTube comments asked, is there a way we can sit in your area for these? Why, yes, sir, there is. And we're going to tell you what that is on Friday.
Top of the hour break is upon us. When we come back, it'll be time for the daily draft. We'll look back or look forward to the NFL schedule and our favorite matchups.
Glory to the
clear.
Thank you.
Help celebrate this beloved favorite at ABL Food Series' next event, Wing Wonderland. This May 18th at the Mule at Devil's Foot Brewing. Local area chefs will showcase their yummiest wings. You can wash them down with Devil's Foot beverages, cocktails, and beer. Wing Wonderland has free games for kids, live music, and more for grown-ups. It's a wing ding you'll remember. Get tickets and find out more at ShayBrownEvents.com. That's ShayBrownEvents.com.
Summit Dental is accepting new patients. At Summit, they submit insurance on your behalf and provide you with estimates, so you have everything you need to make an informed treatment decision. They also work with Care Credit, and they're happy to help you apply. Care Credit helps you pay for out-of-pocket healthcare expenses. See why Summit Dental has so many 5-star reviews on Google. Book today at AshevilleSummitDental.com. In-house savings programs are also available. Book online at AshevilleSummitDental.com.
Oh, this North Carolina Education Lottery Winners Club espresso is strong.
Pace yourself. New winners tend to overdo it on the coffee. And with new scratch-offs out, well...
Hey guys, I'm a new winner. My name's Steve. What's your name? I really love this coffee. Wow, this place is great. Glad I grabbed a new scratch-off. Okay, nice to meet you. Gonna get a massage. Ooh, I think I need to relax.
Told you.
This month's tickets pack $135 million in total prizes. The Winners Club awaits. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 to 3.41 to 4.25. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Join the Asheville Symphony Saturday, May 18th for their Masterwork Series finale, Titan. Hear one of the great pianists of her generation, Olga Kern, play Tchaikovsky's First Piano Concerto, plus Mahler's iconic First Symphony, Titan. 2 p.m. on Saturday, May 18th at Brevard Music Center's Whittington Full Auditorium. Tickets at 828-254-7046 or AshevilleSymphony.org. That's AshevilleSymphony.org.
Xfinity has free premium networks for everyone this month, no matter what kind of entertainment you love. Addicted to true crime? Catch killer cases and more spine-tingling shows on A&E Crime Central. Crave adventure? Explore Asian action movies on Hayya. Searching for something extreme? Check out skating, snowboarding, and more on Fuel TV Plus, the global home of action sports. And find crowd-pleasing bops on iHeartRadio's Hit Nation playlist. There's new free shows and movies to love every week. Say free this week in your Xfinity voice remote.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
At Ingles, we're proud to work with hundreds of local farms and businesses in the communities we call home. Not only does it ensure that you get top quality fresh items for your family table, it's a way for us to support the amazing individuals who pour their heart and soul into delivering the very best they can do. Quality, freshness, community, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Cloudy and breezy out here this afternoon with a few showers possible, low 70s. Better rain chances tonight, even a few rumbles of thunder. Temperatures tonight into the upper 50s. Showers and storms Tuesday. High temperatures tomorrow, upper 60s to near 70. Showers, even storms for Wednesday. Highs in the low 70s. Sunny skies for Thursday, upper 70s to near 80. Chance of showers again Friday, cooler, low 70s. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by
Bojangles. It's always bow time.
It's bow time. When you combine the bold taste of a Bojangles Chicken Supreme with dill pickles, Carol...
Oh, we still got a minute after the ID.
Great on the go, you get Bo's Bird Dog. In fact,
yeah.
$5, available for a limited time only.
It's called the last thing before the open.
At Ingles, whether we're...
Yes.
10-4.
As in college
give me a
basketball
little
games,
extra
bringing
time
the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer,
on the announce of the
or
last
taking
game.
you out to the ball game at your minor league park.
Because we've got a sponsor on that
Ingles,
individual game.
Low prices. Love
and I'll do a CTA
Ingles
on
Studios. This is
Asheville
ESPN
businesses
Asheville,
for remaining dates.
WTEK, WA Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduce stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, WIN. That's WIN. Enter it now.
Log on now to ESPNAVL.com.
The Sportsocracy.
It fires me up, man. I love it. Say it one more time.
The Sportsocracy.
Shake it back!
Beer City's best sports talk.
It is gross.
Just earlier.
They are mature, actually. You just have to get to know them better.
Your lunchtime dose of dumbassery. Live from the Ingles studio.
It is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The Sportsocracy is heard everywhere on the iHeart Radio app and seen everywhere on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel. That way you can join us in the chat and get your thoughts in on whatever the discussion of the day is. You got draft questions. We're always willing to take your draft questions, even though the draft is, a year away. It's never too early, right, Flostradamus?
Summer scouting has not begun yet, but we're getting pretty close. I've started putting the jelly beans in the individual pots here, Tank.
Yeah. We will be, of course, reacting to all of the NFL schedule release coming up later on this week. Wednesday will be the release. We'll have the full reaction show for you on Thursday. Of course, covering all of the little tidbits coming out, the leaks that are coming out leading up to the full release on Wednesday. Today's little nugget was that we will have the Chiefs and the Ravens in the kickoff game on September the 5th. That'll be the Thursday night kickoff game. And we also are dropping our little nuggets of where we're going to be this football season, giving you some of the locations for the start of the Living the Dream Tour. Sportsocracy on the road once again with Ingles Supermarkets this football season. We'll be at the Hall of Fame weekend in Canton, Ohio, August 1st through the 4th. If you're just joining us, we just announced as well that August 31st, we'll be getting some college football action in down at the Mercedes-Benz Dome, going to the Aflac kickoff game between the Georgia Bulldogs and the Clemson Tigers. We'll have another announcement for you coming up at the end of this hour. See how we're doing it? We're learning from the NFL, just dropping these little headline grabbers all the way up to the full schedule release, again, ours, coming on Friday of this week. No show tomorrow, just a programming note. There's business to be dealt with tomorrow, so no show tomorrow afternoon. And then next week, we will have limited shows as well. Flostradamus will be out of town, but we'll have Braves baseball next week to contend with as well. So keep it tuned here to ESPN Asheville and the Sportsocracy for all of your scheduling news.
Kevin Vick wants us to go to the Panthers game in Germany.
No, I'm good.
There's several.
I don't have a passport.
I was about to say, I don't have a passport either. There are several potential logistical issues with that based off the amount of equipment damage that we got in the last flight, and that was a regional, like a national, not an international flight.
Right.
I mean, I'd love to do it. Don't get me wrong. I also think Tank might die.
Germany's not on my list of most wanted to see places.
Oh, I would. In Germany, I might drink Tank until he couldn't get back on the plane.
Yeah. See, and don't they serve warm beer over there?
Yeah.
Isn't that see? That's gross.
Yeah.
That's gross to me as a spoiled American who only has cold beer. Warm beer doesn't really send me.
Look, Luke Combs said it best.
The food in Germany is going to be awesome.
Gross. The food would be the biggest attraction to me. Luke Combs said it best. Long neck, ice cold beer never broke my heart. So I'm in for ice cold. You lost me at the Wampus.
Yes. If I wanted warm beer, I'd just buy a 12-pack from the Dollar General, and I'm not doing that either.
Oof. As somebody that used to, never mind. No good can come from what I was going to say.
You were about to hear a stocking shelves story.
Yes, I was. Yes, you were. As somebody that worked for Budweiser for a while. People that buy beer at the Dollar General you people are savages. Just reach into a 12-pack, grab 4 of them out of there. Just leave the other 8.
Hey, we're selling Lucy's. What this is all about.
That's not how this works, okay? It's not a pick your own way to distribute this product. I gave you 12, you take 12.
All right, it is time for the daily draft here in the Sportsocracy. And looking ahead to the schedule release, we're going to go back and forth here on favorite games, favorite matchups of the 2024 schedule. Who has first pick here? You didn't tell me.
I will give you dealer's choice on that one.
Dealer's choice?
Yes.
All right. Okay, well, I'll let you go first then.
My favorite game of the season. I'm going to go the one that they didn't take because I think it's the 2 best teams in the NFL. I will go Kansas City Chiefs at home against the Houston Texans. I don't know that there's a game on the schedule that I am more curious where it lands. It'll be in primetime. I already know that. Mm-hmm. The question is where. Is that a Monday night game? Is it a Sunday night game? By some random stroke of genius, does it wind up in a Black Friday spot? Or that's what I'm curious of. Because anything like that benefits Kansas City. Because almost all of those where they could be placed are going to be later in the season, which means you've got a team that plays in a dome that's coming into Kansas City and it's going to be cold. Mm-hmm. But what if you play it early? If you play it early, let's say it's in the first 4 weeks of the season, I feel like that would give Houston an ability to set a tone that we're the team to beat in the AFC. Because we went into Kansas City, we beat the Chiefs. And now we have tiebreaker. So if we wind up with the same record, you got to go through Houston, not through Kansas City. Mm-hmm. I still think the NFL erred by not having that game in week 1.
That should have been the kickoff game.
Yes.
Okay. Instead, we're getting Kansas City versus Baltimore for the kickoff game.
Which is fine. I mean, it's in terms of consolation prizes, it's a pretty good consolation prize.
Yes, and I'm going to make that my number 1 selection because I have no problems with that being the kickoff game. I understand what you're saying, but Kansas City, Baltimore, I don't feel like that's one that you can go wrong with because I feel like it's just two teams that are right on the cusp. It's the replay or the rematch of the championship game, and it's not a championship game, so I feel like Baltimore has a real good shot at winning it. You match up against Patrick Mahomes in a championship game, I'm never going to like your chances. Regular season game, see, this is like I'll always – not always, but I'll be way more willing to take the Buffalo Bills in their matchups with the Kansas City Chiefs when they're not in the playoffs. And I got to feel the same way about the Baltimore Ravens. You can't feel great about their track record in the playoffs. Regular season, you know they're going to bring it. And I will take the kickoff game as my number one choice for favorite matchups in this season.
And then
I'm gonna
you have to pick one of two to even make me think about the next choice.
Okay.
Because I'll say them quick if you don't.
Well, this is one that I think might be a little off the beaten path, because it's not just – I'm not going Super Bowl rematch. I think we all could look at that and go, oh, well, of course, Super Bowl rematch has got to be on there. To me, that's not the next most intriguing game.
I don't have that in my top 6, just to be clear.
Really?
No.
Really? Okay. Since you took the Kansas City-Houston game, I'm also going to take the up-and-coming team. But it's against last year's up-and-coming team, which I would not be sad at all if they wanted to make this one the Monday night game for opening week. Detroit Lions, Houston Texans in Houston. Last year's upstart against this year's upstart.
Oh, that's good. That's good, and that would be a good Monday night game.
Mm-hmm.
Just because of what you said, it is the two youngest up-and-comers, franchises that haven't been historically good, and I mean, look, that could be a Super Bowl preview. I would not be shocked at all if you got Detroit-Houston when this all plays out.
I'm glad you went down that path, because I was getting ready to ask you that question. How shocked would you be? And I'll throw it out to the group. How shocked would you be if that ended up being the Super Bowl this year? Houston Texans representing the AFC and the Detroit Lions representing the NFC. I wouldn't be shocked one iota, and it might be the greatest Super Bowl we've ever seen. Because it would be one where I feel like most people are going in with no real rooting interest unless you're a fan of those teams. It will be great drama and television, for one, because both of these teams play out of their minds at every level. And how do you pick between forever downtrodden Detroit and new kid on the block Houston? How do you pick one of those?
Well, that's a good question, and I will say this: if you took Kansas City out, just take out the reigning champions for whatever reason, let's just say you don't believe that you're going to see a team win 3 in a row. If you took them out, name me a matchup that would surprise you less in the Super Bowl than Lions-Texans.
Mm-hmm.
It is time for you to hit your button because we have breaking news.
Breaking news.
Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news?
All right, hit us with it.
This is from, we've got it from Shefty, we've got it from Rap Sheet, we've got it from all of them. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers and All-Pro safety Antoine Winfield Jr. have agreed to a deal. And now, for the first time in NFL history, the highest paid defensive back in the league is a safety.
Interesting.
Guess the number, Tank.
Per year or total on the contract?
Well, I'll give you it's 4 years, so we'll go total money and fully guaranteed.
Total money is.
Remember, this is a defensive back, so you're not in the edge rusher territory.
Yeah, I'm thinking 85.
Damn, you're right on it. 84.1.
Oh, 84.1 with 56 guaranteed.
45.
Ooh. Okay.
And Antoine Winfield is locked up with The Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Let's ride. Oh, wait, that's not our saying.
It should be,
flags.
though. It should be. I think you should take over Let's Ride with Baker Mayfield and bringing back the exact same cast of characters at exponentially more expensive.
Yes.
Let's ride. I mean, how do you feel?
I'm glad we got I feel great. I feel great that we keep Antoine Winfield in the building. It's one of those that you can't, or I can't, see this team without him. Because I feel like he's earned he's earned his way into that status of franchise player, along the lines of a Levante David, or going back to a Derek Brooks or Warren Sapp, or there's just some guys that you can't let go. And I feel like Antoine has done that. I mean, he's the hero other than Tom Brady of the Super Bowl.
All right, I'm going to ask you a question that I don't think I've ever asked you before. If I have, I don't remember your answer. And I'm asking you this not necessarily as an analyst of the sport, as a fan of the team. If you had to pick one Buck that you said was your favorite, and it can be because of talent, because you just like them, whatever the case may be, is Antoine Winfield your choice? I honest to God believe if you say anybody else, you're lying. There's one name that
Mike Evans.
That's the one that if you said it, I'd believe it. I don't know that you're being honest with yourself, though.
Yeah.
I mean, think you like Antoine Winfield better.
I don't. I don't. Antoine Winfield is just, he's newer, right? He's the next face. He's the defensive face. And we're historically a defensive franchise team. But, I mean, there has not been a better offensive player in Tampa Bay Buccaneers history than Mike Evans.
Okay, so you're going more the historical route. I guess what I meant is for like the 2024 season.
Oh, yeah, it's Antoine.
That's what
Antoine's
I thought.
1, Vita Vea would be 2.
That was another. There were 3 names that I went, okay, I'm not going to call him an outright liar if he says Levante David, Vita Vea, or Mike Evans. Mm-hmm. I will think he's an outright liar in the back of my head, but I'm not going to say it.
Because those are the Mount Rushmores, right? If there's a Mount Rushmore just for this team, this roster, it doesn't have Baker Mayfield on it.
You talk about Antoine Winfield the way that I talk about Sauce Gardner or Jermaine Johnson.
Yes, because he is the best safety in the league.
I want to disagree with you on that. I don't think I can. I mean, I could, but then I would be the outright liar.
But that's why when you tell me that, okay, he's getting $84 million over the next 4 years, I mean, normally I would freak out at a $20 million safety. For Antoine, I'm not freaking. That's what it costs.
Well, as a fan of one of the only teams to ever make a safety, one of the highest paid players in the league, I'll just tell you, I hope it goes better for you than it went for ours. Because he got traded and went into the abyss. Although, thank you, Seattle, for all of that draft capital that you gave us. You gave us Garrett Wilson for Jamal Adams. And I thank you for that. And I always will.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. We'll continue the daily draft coming up after the break. Best matchups, favorite matchups for the 2024 NFL season.
Bonus buck.
Clear.
Thank you.
No, win $1,000.
How many picks did we get through there? I wasn't.
Keep listening for the keyword.
3.
Sweet. So this will be probably the rest of the hour.
Step into savings at Discount
Yes.
Road.
10
Find your
for.
favorite brands for the whole
We'll still do
family at
crimes,
unbeatable
though.
prices. From sporty sneakers to chic sandals, we've got.
Okay.
Because I have a crime story that I've wanted to tell for 5 days, and I haven't had the ability
Discount
to.
shoes, $12.55.
I have one too, and it really makes me mad.
I'm still going
Sweet.
for it, even with
All
higher
right,
stroke
I'll be right
risk
back.
from atrial fibrillation and a regular not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Oh, this North Carolina Education Lottery Winners Club espresso is strong.
Pace yourself. New winners tend to overdo it on the coffee. And with new scratch-offs out, well...
Hey guys, I'm a new winner. My name's Steve. What's your name? I really love this coffee. Wow, this place is great. Glad I grabbed a new scratch off. Okay, nice to meet you. Gonna get a massage. Ooh, I think I need to relax.
Told you.
This month's tickets pack $135 million in total prizes. The Winners Club awaits. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.41 to 4.25. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in Western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com. Your one-stop custom apparel shops.
When the flowers come into bloom, it is like a field of dreams. Hi, I'm Belinda Smith. My husband Russ and I own Briar Hill Farm in Pickens, South Carolina. Ingles has really brought awareness to locally grown flowers. And they've made it convenient for customers to be able to purchase local flowers, and customers realize the advantage of local flowers being fresher and lasting longer.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at ClarissaSellsWNC.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or ClarissaSellsWNC@gmail.com.
The Sportsocracy.
These guys are... You back?
It's great.
It is the Sportsocracy, and we are live on ESPN Asheville. Coming to you from the Ingles studio, I'm Tank Spencer. Jeremy Greene back at Mullet Manor.
At the Manor, as we call it around the Manor.
Do you really refer to it as that?
I've started to.
Has that caught on yet?
My mother thinks it is the most infinitely stupid thing she's ever heard in her life, so that makes it more likely. I mean, look, okay, is it the most glorious place? It's pretty glorious. And they don't raise our rent ever, which is sweet. And we have an awesome view of the mountains. I like the Manor.
Draft. What's that?
I like the Manor. I'm very comfortable here, and I can do the show in Muskevies. And I'm even more of a fan of that.
Daily Draft, best matchups for the upcoming 2024 NFL season. Schedule release coming your way on Wednesday. Stick with us into the hour. We will be releasing another one of our scheduled dates for the Living the Dream Tour. Sportsocracy on the road, once again with Ingles Markets this football season. Jeremy, I believe you've only made one selection.
I have.
So far.
And you left me my 2 and my 3. Although when you said your first one, I think that probably should have been up there higher than it was.
The Kansas City, Baltimore, or the Detroit, Houston?
Oh, Detroit, Houston. The second one you said. Sorry.
Okay.
Because I did have a game with Detroit, and that's going to be my next pick, and it's Detroit, San Francisco, the rematch of the NFC Championship game. And I'm going to be honest with you, I'm calling my shot now. Detroit is going to beat the bejeebers out of San Francisco.
Just beat them senseless after
If I could
in the second half of this past year.
If I could bet a line on a game that I don't even know what date it's scheduled for, it would be that one, and it would be Detroit beating them brainless. Because Detroit's gotten better, San Francisco's gotten worse. And yet the public perception doesn't really seem to be changing on San Francisco at all.
Well, because San Francisco is seen as in the Kansas City class of we trust that they're going to win games. We trust that they're going to be there at the end of the season. Not necessarily win championships because they haven't done that in a long, 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 long time.
Since it was legally acceptable for me to piddle in the bed if I had a scary dream.
However, it is they're always a good regular season team.
Okay, so you say they're always a good regular season team.
Yes.
Okay, so they've had a handful of good seasons. They were 12-5 last year, the 13-4 the year before that. Mm-hmm. Would you like to talk about the, 8 years before that? 10-7, 6-10, 13-3, and you lost in the Super Bowl. I got it. 4-12, 6-10, 2-14, 5-11, 8-8. So let's stop with this. They're the Kansas City Chiefs, and they're good every year. They're not. They're not.
They are.
You've had 2 really good years. But this idea that they're the infallible and they can never, ever. Okay. I happen to remember the great kazoo Kyle Shanahan sitting on the sideline watching Nick Mullins and C.J. Beathard and thinking, man, your dad has got to be watching this going, I taught this boy better than that because this team sucks.
It did. It did not go well when the quarterback got hurt. But every other year that they've had a starting quarterback make it through the season, it's looked pretty good.
10-7. Okay. I mean, it's fine, but stop comparing them to Kansas City.
Mm-hmm. All right, and then after Detroit at San Francisco?
I have to take this not because it's a great game, but because I think it's going to be an absolute circus. So I'm going to go the Harbowl, Ravens-Chargers. I think that is going to be a circus, and I see no way they don't play that game early because of what I said earlier when we talked about this game.
Yeah, because there's a chance that the shine will come off that rose for Jim Harbaugh
fast
and the Chargers.
And I'll be honest with you, I think that's why that game is so appealing to me, is that there is a possibility. I'm going to play the hypothetical game here. Let's say somehow the Ravens beat Kansas City week 1, which wouldn't shock me in the least, by the way. Mm-hmm. Let's say Baltimore beats them week 1. They get, a division win somewhere in those next handful of games. And they play this game week 5. And the Chargers are 1-3, and the Ravens are 4-0. And the Ravens just absolutely wreck their souls. Is that not the game where we look at the Chargers and go, this is not off to a good start?
Yes.
That's on the low side. On the high side, let's say they start hot, and then Baltimore beats their brains out. Oh, paper tiger. Oh, it's paper tiger. That's Jim had this problem at Michigan for a long time. Or if you choose to go rosy red glasses, if they win, it really validates them as a legit contender. That game just has a lot of layers to me, and I don't see a path, so long as it's not played late, that it doesn't have just a ton of appeal.
Yes, Harbaugh number 2 will be all that we talk about. Or not all that we talk about, but it'll be a majority of what the media is talking about leading up to whatever week of the NFL season that will be. Baltimore Ravens at the Los Angeles Chargers. My next selection is a game that I guess this is just on the schedule now in perpetuity. Every year, is this a new NFL rivalry that has to be on the schedule every year? Bengals at the Chiefs.
That's a good one.
Cincinnati at Kansas City. Joe Burrow is 3-1 against Patrick Mahomes. That's a stat that every year it gets crazier and crazier because of who Patrick Mahomes is, right? How many games the Kansas City Chiefs win, and you think nobody's going to get the better of them. Well, so far, the Cincinnati Bengals and Joe Burrow have gotten the better of them. When Joe Burrow is healthy, this team is scary. And Cincinnati at Kansas City is one of those marquee games for me.
I mean, Burrow's 3-1 against Mahomes, so.
Right.
If he stays healthy, there's a lot of people that seem to just be throwing dirt on the Bengals, and I'm not really sure I understand why.
Wishful thinking.
But why is it wishful thinking? Why is that the team you want to throw dirt on?
I really feel like it's wishful thinking.
I mean, if you're a fan of a team in the AFC North, I get it. If you're not, that's where I don't.
I feel like Joe Burrow is becoming quickly a polarizing figure. Like, he's cool, and we all see, like, oh, that's cool. He's a guy that we'd like to hang out with, smoke a cigar with after a game, blah, 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 blah. But I feel like he's starting to step into that territory of when he is on the field, he's so good, so we have to hate him. And now he's got a bit of the injury bug tag on him, so it's becoming cool to hate on that. And I think that's where a lot of the fan stuff comes in with Joe Burrow and rooting against the Bengals.
I can't remember a time that we had a quarterback this good that hadn't won a Super Bowl yet that I heard this much hatred and vitriol towards. Because I don't hear that about Josh Allen ever. I mean, I hear it about the Bills because people get tired of hearing them talked about when they don't win anything. I hear a lot against Burrow, and I guess that doesn't make sense to me. I like back satisfied Browns fan who I respect and I think knows this game pretty well. Said Burrow had 1.5 great years. Other than that, he's been a disaster. You mean when he was hurt? If he's been on the field, he's been either fantastic or horizontal. Because his rookie year, he was playing with an XFL team. That roster was awful. I mean, he was on pace for Sam Howell level getting killed, and then he got hurt. But I mean, that wasn't on him. I don't know. I just don't get it. I mean, this is a team that hasn't won anything in my lifetime. The hate on Pat Mahomes, I get it. He's got an annoying wife. He talks like Kermit the Frog, and he wins all the time. It is not hard to understand that. I understand the hate on Brock Purdy because you're not a star, but you're treated like one, and you're on a really good team, and nobody seems to get that. I get to Burrow, and but then again, I don't understand the hate on Lamar Jackson either.
Well, a lot of Burrow's is, like I said, the fact that he is a threat, and the fact that he is a target. And I also feel like, he's got a bit of that cocky chip on his shoulder thing, the smoking the cigars after the games and dressing flashy and all. And
maybe
and all
that's
that
it.
stuff. A lot of people don't like that. A lot of people look at that and go, "Oh, that's just what was the phrase that we used from the story about Justin Fields what was it? And
entitled,
too high of an aura. He's got this aura about him, this cockiness, this swagger that just kind of, it's not likable to a lot of people.
I mean, I guess I get that.
You a jerk, basically.
I guess I get that. Cocky doesn't bother me.
It doesn't bother me either.
A fake, fictitious humility irks me. The oh shucks, I'm just like anybody else. No, you're not. You're worth $400 million. Shut up. Okay, like that. Don't act like you're like me. You're not.
You're not like me at all. All right, and then, well, should we take a break here?
Yeah,
I'm going to give you my next one.
That'll give us 3 picks each in the next segment. All
right, that'll work. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll also have your most important message of the day, as well as finish up the daily draft here. Best matchups that we're looking forward to in the 2024 NFL season. Next.
This is your Exergen temporal scanner.
Clear.
On
10-4.
ESPN Asheville.
Cloudy and breezy out here this afternoon. A few showers possible, low 70s. Better rain chances tonight, even a few rumbles of thunder. Temperatures tonight into the upper 50s. Showers and storms Tuesday. High temperatures tomorrow, upper 60s to near 70. Showers, even storms for Wednesday. Highs in the low 70s. Sunny skies for Thursday, upper 70s to near 80. Chance of showers again Friday, cooler, low 70s. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone. at the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by Discover. As humans, we like having options. One option you might like is speaking with a real person.
I love that. Back satisfied Browns fan.
He's customer service from Discover.
Says, I also hate the Bengals, so that could play a part. Well, you think so?
Well, I mean, having the ability to admit that is I'm a fan of that.
And frustrated with diets that
everybody
that as well.
Everybody hated Tom Brady. I super hated Tom Brady.
For millions.
Like in terms of people that I hate the most, Tom Brady is the only one in the top 5 that I've never physically met.
Access to these exciting injectables that can deliver remarkable results. The medically trained weight loss professionals.
And he's only one of the 2 of the top 5 that I've never seen naked.
Includes using semaglutide and tirzepatide injections with in-clinic supervision and personalized care. Stop struggling and jumpstart your weight loss journey now. QC Kinetics makes these promising new injectables more accessible and more affordable, making your goals more attainable than ever before. Call now to learn more about this next generation weight loss option that can change your life. Let the trusted medical professionals at QC Kinetics find out if you're a candidate now. Lose the extra pounds once and for all. Call now for your free consultation. 833-QCK-SLIM. 833-QCK-SLIM. 833-QCK-SLIM.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 commercial-free stations waiting for you right now. Like Alt 2K. Don't wanna be in a man.
Ablutions.
Just search Alt 2K and listen now on your free iHeartRadio app.
That scared the haber-jeebers out of me.
Next to godliness.
I had taken my headphones off, and I just about paid.
Comes at you. See Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor.
All right, so we've got 2 games to announce here. The one we did in the chat the other day. So we're just going to run this one all together, right?
Exterior details with paint correction.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so give me
the 7th.
The 7th and the 14th. Okay.
Vitality Touch.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free
boobs
in Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in Western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com. Your one-stop custom apparel shops.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call.
Did you respond to that email about Champion Golf?
WNC, brokered by.
I did.
Okay, I sent her bios on us.
Okay,
cool.
Mention that.
Yeah, no, I just responded and said you were the guy for golf. Like, I'll be glad to do reads, but I'm not the golfer.
Yeah, I've actually looked at having them do some clubs for me, so I would be a pretty good one.
343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
Back in the Sportsocracy, time for the most important message of the day.
Got to turn your microphone on. Don't do crimes!
Yeah, there we go. The long distance don't do crimes from Mullet Manor.
There was a lot more energy behind it the first time. Unfortunately, I had not hit the button.
It is time, Jeremy, to talk about the crime of the century. I am PO'd. I am at a high level of passivity over this story.
That is a word that I have.
Yes.
Can we trademark that word?
I don't know. I've heard it said before. Maybe somebody might have it trademarked already, but it is one of my favorites. And that is the first time I've ever used it on the radio airwaves. But Steve Buscemi got attacked randomly in New York City the other day, and it's really ticking me off. What monster looks at an American hero like Steve Buscemi and goes, you know what? I'm just going to punch him in the face.
American hero?
American hero. That's right. You heard me. You heard me right.
I mean, I feel
you
like...
You ever heard the story of his response to in 9/11?
No.
He was a firefighter in the city of New York way back.
Steve Buscemi was?
Yes. Before he was a successful actor, he was a New York firefighter. And when 9/11 happened, what did he do? Did he sit in his condo and hide from the world? No, he got boots on the ground and went and helped out his fellow firefighters, saving lives, making sure people were where they needed to be, making sure that the city was picking up the pieces after one of the greatest or one of the most terrible attacks in American history. Steve Buscemi, not only being one of the greatest actors of all time.
Okay, so you were doing good. I had gotten on your side of American Hero. Then you got to one of the best actors of all time. He was the weird guy in Billy Madison that shoots the bad guy. Okay, I'll give you American Hero because I didn't know what you just said. I'm also picturing Steve Buscemi as a firefighter, and the image of that is really funny to me for some reason.
66-year-old was strolling through Kips Bay last week when a brute walked up and struck the Boardwalk Empire star in broad daylight. One of the latest unprovoked assaults in the 5 boroughs, law enforcement sources tell the New York Post. The actor suffered swelling to his face and left eye and was taken to Bellevue Hospital for treatment. Meanwhile, his deranged assailant took off and is still on the lam, according to police. The positive side of this story is that it made his face more, presentable. Sorry, Steve.
I don't think anything I say here is going to be nice, so I'll probably just, because I'm going to be honest with you. If any actor was going to play Tank Spencer in the Sportsocracy story, Thin Tank would be Steve Buscemi. Fat Tank, I don't know who'd play Fat Tank. We might have to put Steve Buscemi in a fat suit. But
in a follow-up, Steve Buscemi's publicist is thanking the attacker for pushing his eyes closer together.
At Sports Tank ESPN. My story comes from Maryland, Pikesville High School. And it's about Dazon Darian, who was the athletic director at Pikeville High School. Well, apparently he did not like the principal and decided that he was going to run a little plot against him using AI. So somehow he got a vocal track of the principal, who is not named in this story, and there's probably a reason why when I get to the end of it. He took a vocal track of the principal and made what can only be equated to a racist manifesto out of AI and posted it online. Well, obviously, you hear somebody's voice that you know pretty identifiably. I go back to buttered sausage. What does it do? Why is it on my plate? That was AI too. You got to be real careful what you see. You got to be real careful what you believe, because AI makes it very easy to mess with people. Mr. Darian has been arrested and obviously terminated from his employment. Inciting a riot was actually one of the charges they arrested him on, because apparently the school was inundated with calls over the things that he had said in this AI-generated rant. Just, okay, don't be a jackal with AI. AI helps a lot of people in their day-to-day, like the 2 fun, lovable fat people that you listen to on this here radio, because we use it a lot. Don't take that away from us. I don't want to write descriptions again. I like being able to ask a computer, hey, it's not football season. What should we talk about today? And it gives me 40 ideas, 3 of which are good.
All right, continuing with the daily draft. Favorite matchups for the upcoming football season. We have the NFL schedule release coming up on Wednesday. We will have our schedule release coming up on Friday of this week, where we will tell you where we are headed on the Sportsocracy road trip tour, the Living the Dream tour with Ingles Supermarkets. Got another announcement coming up in just a few moments on a couple more games that we will be catching this football season.
One of which is near and dear to my heart, and another which is near and dear to the heart of a lot of people that listen to this here show.
As we left off with the daily draft, the 3 that I have banked so far as my favorite matchups of the NFL season: Kansas City and Baltimore, Detroit at Houston, Cincinnati at Kansas City. Jeremy's got Kansas City, Houston, Detroit at San Francisco, replay of the NFC Championship game, and then Baltimore at the Los Angeles Chargers for Harbowl number 2.
Well, we've gotten to 7 selections and we haven't taken the Super Bowl rematch, so I guess begrudgingly I have to take Kansas City, San Francisco.
Well, I mean, it's my turn.
Oh.
I have another one to select here.
Oh, sorry. Oh, I forgot that wasn't my selection.
It's not your selection.
Usually I wind up with the second pick, so I'm just used to having those back-to-backers right there.
Yes, you do. This is finishing up my back-to-back before we come to you for another back-to-back. And I'll leave you that one. You can have the Super Bowl rematch for your next selection. I'm going to go with another Joe Burrow game because I'm excited about all of the hatred that's being talked about in the YouTube comments for Joe Burrow. And I'm going to go Cincinnati hosting the Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh, that's an interesting one.
Because if you didn't fix the secondary, Philadelphia, if Vic Fangio can't coach the secondary better than they were coached last year, well, this is not going to go well. And if this ends up being a, week 4 matchup, per se, I could see where that's a snowball for one of these teams.
Well,
if Cincinnati comes out and dusts Philadelphia's secondary in week 4, the timeline on Nick Sirianni's time there, his seat will be inferno hot.
Well, I would be remiss if I didn't point out that I think Yosemite Sam and Elmer Fudd could have coordinated this defense better than it was done last year. So that's not a bad selection. I will take the Super Bowl rematch, which I had already thrown out there because I picked out a place. I mean, am I geeked about it? No, because I don't think San Francisco is the best team in the NFC, but there is some pageantry to a game like that.
Yes.
I kind of think back to last year with Baltimore and San Francisco because that was who we thought was going to play in the Super Bowl at the time that game happened. And I think you could get the same kind of feel around Kansas City and San Francisco this year. My other pick, I've got 2 games I really want. I have 2 picks left, but I have to wait for you to pick twice. So I'm going to take the one I practically know that you're going to take. I will take the Stephon Diggs game, Texans-Bills.
Okay.
Because I have a weird feeling the animus in that game is going to be real high. Because you got a Buffalo team that's starting to feel like old news, Houston team that's feeling like new news. You got the player that kind of, I can't say the word that I want to say right here, but falafeled us over and became a diva and was not great. And I could just see it being hard-hitting, low-scoring, and maybe not getting the hype that it deserves, but paying it off.
Okay. It's one that I'm not real excited about because I don't have a lot of high hopes for the Buffalo Bills, but it's still going to be a really good matchup, and it's still a hurdle that Houston has to get over before they can be seen or accepted as a legit contender. Right? This is one of the contenders waning, and now Houston's got to pass them. It's a benchmark game for a lot of fans. All right, my next selection, I'm going to go with the New York Jets.
I'm curious to see which game you say here.
We haven't had a Jets game on here yet, but I'm really interested to see what it looks like when the New York Jets go out to the West Coast to play the San Francisco 49ers. 2 organizations that are pretty familiar with each other. And, I mean, I think it's going to be the toughest road test that you have outside of the division. And I'm right there with, the thought that the New York Jets, I expected you to be a top 6 to 8 team last year. You're right back in that talk for me. I'm not scared about how last year ended because I think it's a freak accident, and I don't think there's a possibility that happens again. Or at least, you can't plan on something like that ever happening again. But I think the Jets at the 49ers is must-see television.
I hope we beat them senseless. I don't think that's going to happen, but I really hope it does.
Mm-hmm. And then, what's this final selection here?
It is, and there's one game I really want you to not say. I don't think you will, but you might.
Okay, well, I only have one. Okay. I didn't want to do too much of any one team here, but this will just be a repeat on both sides. Philadelphia at Baltimore.
I can't hate on that.
Two teams that really like to run the ball, ground and pound, play good defense. And the last 3 games between these two franchises have all ended up with 1-point games. Or one-possession games. Not 1-point games. One-possession games. But they don't play a whole lot. And I think it's great that we're getting this matchup when they're both at the top of the league.
The game you didn't mention, and the reason I thought you might is because you're such a narrative guy. I will go the Kirk Cousins Bowl, Minnesota Vikings, Atlanta Falcons, and if for nothing else, because I want to see if Atlanta can actually beat Minnesota 73-3 like Calvin Beermaster Rogers just said in the comments. Because that defense is bad, and I have a weird feeling that Kirk Cousins is going to go, hey, boys, you remember me? This will be fun.
Yeah.
I don't love them either, but I did love you first.
Mm-hmm. He will definitely have something to prove, and what better way to do it than to do it against your old team. I had thought about it, but I tried to stay away from the narrative games because I feel like there are that many great matchups that we're going to have over the season.
And I think that's why I steered into them, because there's so many great matchups. We could have gone back to back here, 8 picks deep each, and had nothing but great on the field matchups. But we've seen a lot of them, and I don't know. The narratives were more interesting to me.
Yep. Now you're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The Sportsocracy is hitting the road more this upcoming football season. And another drop here of just where we're going to go.
There's a song that I feel like you should play for this next game that I just so... There it is.
Old Rocky Top.
The Dukes Mayo Classic, Bank of America Stadium, Tennessee, NC State. And we will be there, and it's brought to you by ClarissaSalesWNC.com. And if you would like to get your business featured on any of these games, it is the Ingles Tour. They're on all of the games. But if you would like to present one of the games, reach out to me, Jeremy, at thesportsocracy.com. I have limited spaces. The reason we're announcing this so quickly is because, Tank, the whole idea here went from idea of, hey, we should do this, to, oh, we're doing this in
we're doing this
96 hours? That about how long that took?
Dude, something like that.
Tank and I had talked about it in the offseason of while we were at the draft. It was, man, we got to go to more games next year. We got to get on site, and we have whole packages built out for every one of these that are going to be a lot of fun. We're going to do some tailgating stuff with Ingles, and we'll let you know more about this as it gets closer. We just wanted to prepare you. We've had a lot of people that have asked, hey, are you going to blank? And we'd like to go with you. And Friday we'll tell you how you can do that.
And then we also will be heading out to another game in the state of North Carolina the following weekend, September the 14th, Battle of East and West. Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium, Greenville, North Carolina. Appalachian State Mountaineers, East Carolina, fighting Mike Houston.
I mean, you knew I had to get the fighting Mike Houston's on it at some point. You knew we were getting to East Carolina.
Yes. I'm gonna have to bring my East Carolina toboggan for that game. I got an original from 1974. My dad went to East Carolina.
I did. We've done the show this long. I had no idea of that.
No. He was actually he actually lived on the same hall as Carlester Crumpler, Algie's dad.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that when I scheduled that game, and it makes me even happier that we did.
Right.
We wanted to make so our objective was we wanted to get every North Carolina team on the schedule, and so we just so happened that you had several of them that played each other. So we were going two birds with one stone. On Wednesday's show, there's another element of this that if you're a big old draft nerd like your buddy Mullet here, you're going to like the next set of games we unveil because they all have something in common, and it has to do with the NFL draft.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. We will be off tomorrow, handling some business off the air, then back with you on Wednesday at noon as we all prepare for the schedule release in the NFL. Have a great one. We'll see you Wednesday.
If you've ever thought about Botox treatment before, then your dentist might not be the first person that pops into your head. But at Asheville
Clear.
They are dedicated to the treatment of TMJ, and they use Botox for that. Botox can also be used to treat headaches that come from people grinding their teeth or clenching their jaws when they are stressed. So if you have more questions about Botox and you want to see if it's a good option for you, check out Asheville Smiles online at AshevilleSmiles.com. World-class dental care with a hometown feel.
Live Nation presents.
All right, I hate to run so quick, but I got to go get Amy. She had to drop her car off. It's got that O2 sensor light won't go off.
Of your favorite artist.
Right on. Yeah, good.
Do you want me to just how are we going to do tomorrow? Because we got to ride out to Brevard.
You just want to meet me at my house?
I can do that.
$25 on sale now through May 14th.
Meetings at 2. I don't know how long does it take to get to Brevard from your house?
Your summer with Sean Paul, Sum 41, 30 Seconds to Mars. Oh, and 2 doors.
Oh, to the Oscar Blues Brewery?
Yeah, to the tap room out there in Brevard.
Oh, I'd probably say 15, 20 minutes maybe.
Okay. All right. So we'll just meet at your house at what, 1?
The staff that works.
Yeah, that'll work.
Meetings at 2. And then we can ride back to your house. I'll pick my car up and
sure thing.
We'll be off to the races.
Better smile.
Right on.
All right. If you need anything else from me, let me know. I'll be around for a few minutes and then I'll be back tonight.
6868.
Cool deal.
See you, man.
See you.
This month, no matter what kind of entertainment you love. Addicted to true crime? Catch killer cases and more spine-tingling shows on A&E Crime Central. Crave adventure? Explore Asian action movies on Hi-Ya. Searching for something extreme? Check out skating, snowboarding, and more on Fuel TV Plus, the global home of action sports. And find crowd-pleasing bops on iHeartRadio's Hit Nation playlist. There's new free shows and movies to love every week. Say free this week in your Xfinity voice remote.
We're back counting down to kickoff. Let's look at today's 3 keys to premium pre-gaming with Beast Unleashed, presented by Monster Brewing. Number 1, beat the heat.
Unleash the beast with bold, familiar flavors, 0 caffeine and 0 sugar.
Number 2, running the option.
There's 4 to choose from: White Haze, Heat Perfect, Scary Berries, and my personal favorite, Mean Green.
And number 3, at 6% ABV, Max Protect.
Always drink responsibly, and you must be 21 or over.
Beast Unleashed, available at your local retailer.
At Ingalls, we're proud to work with hundreds of local farms and businesses in the communities we call home. Not only does it ensure that you get top-quality, fresh items for your family table, it's a way for us to support the amazing individuals who pour their heart and soul into delivering the very best they can do. Quality, freshness, community, it's all in the bag. Ingalls, low prices, love the savings.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Cloudy and breezy out here this afternoon with a few showers possible, low 70s. Better rain chances tonight, even a few rumbles of thunder. Temperatures tonight in the upper 50s. Showers and storms Tuesday. High temperatures tomorrow, upper 60s to near 70. Showers, even storms for Wednesday. Highs in the low 70s. Sunny skies for Thursday, upper 70s to near 80. Chance of showers again Friday, cooler, low 70s. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by Discover. As humans, we like having options. One option you might like is speaking with a real person when you call about your credit card. With 24/7 live U.S.-based customer service from Discover, everyone can talk to a real person anytime, day or night. Limitations apply. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
At Skechers, we put the S in comfort. Now, I know you're probably spelling comfort in your head and asking yourself, is that possible? Am I just a really bad speller? Look, I don't know your spelling aptitude, but Skechers most definitely put the S in comfort because Skechers is the comfort technology company and has developed fits and features that change everything you know about comfort, like hands-free Skechers slip-ins, the ultimate in comfort and convenience. It's footwear you just step into and they're on with no bending down. Find Skechers at a Skechers store, Skechers.com,